should be pretty good. Oh, okay. That's not bad. Bullseye, how's it going, man? How you doing? So, T-A... Tarp? How do you spell tarp? Is it just T-A-R-P? Is that why? It's T-A-R-P the time. Alright, whatever. Bullseye! Devil, how's it going, man? How you doing? Couldn't be first. You're cooked? Ah, yes, so you say, bitch. I got it. I don't know what you think this is. T-A-R... T-A-R-T-A... It was over before it began. Luvion, how's it going, man? How you doing? Oh, seriously, I know I sent you a message, but seriously, dude, that artwork was so fucking cool, Luvion. I don't know how I'm gonna incorporate it in stream. I will figure it out somehow. But I found that so fucking cool, dude. Holy shit, thank you. I don't know. The aspect ratio isn't wide enough, or I would love to have it. Fuck, am I really loud? My mic is telling me I'm like obscenely loud. The mic sounds really bad. Ah, for fuck's sakes, I knew it was going to do this. Alright, hold on. Alright, hold on. Give me a second. Okay, I'm curious if that's a little bit better. It's still saying it's a little bit on the louder end. Hold on. Curious if that's better. Okay, let's try that. Okay, let's try that. I love you too, Devil. See you, buddy. Huh, that's so weird. Why is it... That's turned all the way down. Let's try this now. Okay. Oh, wait. I'm only model. Stick around. Oh, thanks, buddy. Okay, I feel like that should be a little bit better now. I'm curious. Yeah, it can. Please look at my DMs, validate my metaphorical cooking. Alright, I'll do that in 1 second, username. Way better now. Okay, yeah, I don't... That's so weird. I don't even fuck with my mic settings, which is so weird. I didn't even do anything with it. This makes a lot more logical sense, because... In the past, I had to crank up my gain a decent bit to like maybe 40%. And I was like, why the fuck am I having to turn this up so much? Can't let some traffic... Wait, are you driving right now, Devil? T-A... Oh, you're walking. I see. So, E-A-T. I'm always what? D-A-T-P. Depth? I'm curious. fuck? That doesn't give me anything? Kill me. A provoker must have done that to make you mad. Okay. Yeah, I don't... Seriously, I don't know what the fuck happened with my mic there. That was so interesting. I think it's partially my own fault because I'm like really paranoid. So what happens is after every stream, I will unplug my mic because I'm like, holy fuck, like what if I'm like somehow still live even though I shut off OBS and everything? I'm like, what if I'm still live? So like I yank it off. So I feel like it might fuck with me sometimes. But I don't know, that's so weird. What the fuck? Okay. Queen, how's it going? I didn't expect to make an evening stream. How's it going? Nightwalker, how you doing, man? Unironically based. Okay, Nightwalker's here. The Red Devil, my strongest soldier, holding up his end of the bargain until someone else came along to carry the weight. What a goat! All right, I'll see you, buddy. Not staying long. I'm half asleep. Fair enough. Bug, how's it going? I think I will digest my potion soon. What potion? What? What potion are you? Guy, how's it going, man? I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you. I'll ditch you. Night walking. Fair enough. M-O... No, okay. Let me lock in. Hold on. I'm tweaking here. Hold on. Let me lock in. G-A-E Garth. I don't know why I keep doing H. H isn't in there. I know this, and I keep doing H. Someone take my keyboard away from me. I'm too stupid for this. Okay, so T-A... P-T. Okay, that's... No, it can't be T-A... P-E. This is the guess, okay? I'll stick around to see you lose. Fuck you, okay? Taupe? Fuck you, devil! What's up, bitch? What's up? I'm so glad that happened when it did. Get fucked. Oh, that was such good timing. That was such good timing. His message came and I was like, oh, taupe. I got it. Okay. Wait, where the what devil? Where are you walking at 9 p.m., bro? Are you looking to get mugged? What are you doing? I just realized what time it is. Okay. Seal. I'll give you a hint. Jake the Snake Roberts. I don't know who that is, bro. Oh. Undertaker. Snake. Oh, I think I might see the guess. Okay. Okay, I might see the guess. I might have a chance, okay? Hold on. Tape, seal, record, film, tape, record, paper, a way to take stuff down. Film? Is it seal? Fuck, no. Okay, no. So film. So record. So film, record, tape. That one's and then there should be a fourth one that's obvious. Hold on. This one's not too bad. Okay. Film, record, tape. So those are obviously the three because they have rock, poetic. Yeah, record or like record. Oh. Needle? Why? What would needle have to do with, like... Oh, like parts of a... No. Oh, that doesn't work. Oh, no. Username, you fucked me. Film shoot. Okay. Yeah, I thought the same thing you did, username. That's why I went with needle. Okay, hold on. Okay. Username, you fraud. Nagito, how's it going, man? How you doing? It's just... Okay, hold on. Let me cook. I got one more, so please don't let me cook, okay? Ignore username, actually. Poetic. Irony. No. Needle. Snake. Rock. Undertaker. Burt Hart. I literally only knew the Undertaker. What the fuck? I thought Hitman might be one of them, but I was like, I don't know if that is. Oh, by the way, I'm not sure if you guys can hear it. I have some family members nearby, so they're really loud. If you guys can hear them in the background, let me know. I'll turn up the music a little bit louder than normal. But yeah. Oh, The Rock. Oh, yes, that's silly. Oh, yes, The Rock. Of course. I don't know why. I've never seen it as just Rock, so like it never even occurred to me. The Rock. Yeah, Dwayne Johnson. Yeah, of course. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna crash out on you. I asked if there's a night stream, and he said no. I just woke up and barely noticed. Okay. There's a reason for that, Nagato, okay? Okay. Originally, there was not supposed to be a night stream because I was supposed to do a morning stream. And then I slept in until like just before the interview, and I was like, fuck. So I just went to the interview and I didn't stream in the morning. And then I was like, okay, well, I didn't stream in the morning. So the plan was to now get as close to the ending of Volume 3 as I can, and then do the ending Sunday morning as one like big stream. So yeah, it was not originally planned to be like this. So I just kind of slept in. Okay. Needle, thread, button, scissors. Yes, okay, I did. Okay, in fairness, I got that one before I saw your messages. Okay, I got by myself. One. Paper Museum Poetic Seal. What is this? What is this? Wax me. Sure. Okay. Fuck you. Okay. I'm just gonna quickly see what username said on Discord, and then we'll get started reading. It's 9. Username. What did you send? Did I? Dude, that is actually kind of based. What? Look at this. This is kind of cool. This is actually kind of based. Your brain is so cooked, I can't even comprehend what you're saying. Oh, my brain. Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying that I was sounding like I was slurring my words, and I was like, bro, am I having a stroke? So your night is my morning, right? So it is night. And so it is night for me. Alright, I'll see you later, devil. Seriously. Okay, wait. Why is no one logging onto the thing, bro? Why is no one logging onto the Minecraft server anymore? What's happening? It's just me. What's up? Glad to see you back to normal username. What happened? This is cool as fuck, dude. This is awesome username. You did such a good job here. What the fuck? Yeah, you're good, Nugget. You're good, man. This is cool as fuck. I find this one way cooler than the other one. This one is nice, don't get me wrong, but this one is way cooler. I think if I can give you one note though, if you're converting the moon to orangish, I would also do like an orange hue to this lighting here, and then it would give off like a really cool vibe. Just a small note, but like still really, really cool. Okay, Ramiro, how's it going, man? Appreciate you popping by. These are so cute, by the way. Okay. Time to start reading. It's 9. We're at 7. Maybe feel that might be too much. Oh, fair. Okay, that's fair. No, 7:20. And before anyone says it, I know I have to put the overlay on. I'm just getting to the right place. Take care of spoilers for me. Nightwalker, what do I have you for? What the fuck? Okay, let's go. 7, bro, you know what? Fuck the overlay. I need someone to fucking help me with, to fucking keep, to remind me to update the chapters. Bro, I never do this. I'm always like 2 behind. What the fuck do I even have this here for? I overlook, Ramiro. You delegate the work. Okay. Inside the ancient palace, standing above the grey fog, Alger wasn't in a rush to mention the matters regarding crazy captains as he looked to the sun. Are you still in Afternoon Town? Yes, we took a very long time to establish a camp. Later, with small teams, we wiped out the remnant monsters. One street at a time, in search of any accident ruins that might still exist. Although the process is slow, it's sufficiently safe. Wait. Gonna get a mental stroke reading that? Did I misspell it? The World and Hero Bandit. No, I spelled it right. What the fuck? If he doesn't do, Nightwalker, at least do this job, remind him of chapter updates. Kinda true. Okay. Yes, his answer was extremely detailed, and it gave the hangman impressions that could ask more questions if he wished to know more. Audrey, listening, raised her hand. With all of you staying in Afternoon Town for so long, what do you rely on for food? We carry a portion of powdered black-faced grass, but the main source of food comes from hunting those monsters. Once the Beyonder characteristic is expelled, a large proportion of them can be eaten once we skin them and roast them with fire. However, there's a certain degree of corruption in the meat, which will result in psychological problems. We can't continuously consume the meat, and we need to spread out the intervals. That's cool. Wouldn't that be disgusting? Audrey said. Emlyn, who heard the question, forgot to correct her by informing her that sanguine weren't wait, what the fuck? Wouldn't that be disgusting? Audrey said. Derek, piqued with curiosity, I remember you mentioning that monsters in the depths of the darkness include vampires. Their bodies run with pus and are extremely ugly. Then would you consume vampires after killing them? Emlyn, who heard the question, forgot to correct her by informing her that sanguines weren't vampires. His expression turned livid, and he felt an inexplicable sense of indescribable horror. Derek was silent for 2 seconds before saying, there are some monsters that are indeed disgusting. Very disgusting. Just like the vampires you mentioned by Miss Magician. But we have no choice. As long as it's edible, we will eat it. Hey, I'm already half dying here. Why? What's wrong with you, Nightwalker? So how was the interview? I think it went pretty good. Nagito, they said they'll let me know end of next week, but I think it went pretty good. The manager and I were kind of vibing. We were making jokes about how shitty the roads are around here. It was good. It was pretty good. Man, that monster meat looks foul from the official. There's official art of the meat? What the fuck? Is this Schrodinger's username? If I'm not here, he normal. If I'm here, he rampage. What is happening? So you're no longer going to be a jobless bum? Bro, I was never a jobless bum. I didn't have a job for like 5 months. Like, if someone is on a sabbatical, you mean you're like, oh, jobless bum? I worked for 3 years. I took off 5 months. What do you mean, jobless bum? His voice gradually turned heavy. He once again felt the tragedy that was the curse enveloping the city of Silver. The world broke the silence with a chuckle. Let's return to the sea. There have been certain matters that require your attention. Crazy Captain Connors drifted to nearby harbor after a storm. The masts were snapped and there were charred marks. The entire crew, including Connors, died. No one survived. Justice and company didn't know who the captain was, and they weren't too interested, other than being curious what caused this tragedy. Alger shared completely different thoughts from them. There must be a tremendous secret if the world is paying attention to the matter regarding the crazy captain. No wonder His Eminence Copman issued such an important command to get the punishers and captains to investigate the situation. Alder's eyes darted after he said after some thought. In Bayam, the Church of Storm is actively investigating the people and matters surrounding the crazy captain. There's no need for me to commission it. Klein chuckled inwardly and got the world to ask. What clues does the world of Storm possess? I have no idea. I'll try my best to understand the situation. Alger frankly shook his head. Audrey, who was listening out of curiosity, realized that the matters regarding Crazy Captain wasn't simple. Hence, she asked, "Mr. World, isn't this common infighting among pirates?" Klein was about to perfunctorily give an answer to Miss Justice without divulging anything when he suddenly thought of a problem. Behind the great smog of Backland and the disappearances, there might be a particular faction of the royal family. It also included some military personnel, and Miss Justice would lean towards the nobles and royal noble family, both her emotions and from her standpoint. If there comes a day when I target those bastards deserving of death, she might not find it acceptable. If I commission a mission to her, she might fall into a dilemma. Therefore, I should now inject the impression in her that the royal family and military have plenty of bad people. I would subtly change the direction in which her standpoint and emotions are directed. For this, I can bear the burden that some of the information regarding the world is leaked." That's interesting. I wonder if that by itself would also kind of work towards... What happened with your VC today? Dude, Romero, I didn't even hear you join. I was listening to YouTube videos and I was playing Minecraft for like 2 hours. I didn't even hear you join. What the fuck? I woke up early by sleeping 5 hours for the exam and at 6:30 I haven't slept at all. Jesus Christ, Nightwalker. Nagato, I already answered that. What? I joined and even talked. I heard all your YouTube vids. Wait, what? No, I didn't hear you at all, Romero. I'm sorry. No, the interview went good, Nagato. I went good. They said they'll let me know next week. The Demoness sect takes the people who are tricked or abducted and hands them over to the Vice Admiral Ailment. Started in the wrong place. Crazy Captain is related to the disappearance of the colonial slaves which Mr. Hanged Man mentioned previously. The Demoness sect takes the people who are tricked or abducted and hands them over to Vice Admiral Ailment Tracy, and they hand them over to the northern continent's east sea coast. Then, with the Crazy Captain, it completes the last mile. This pirate is intricately tied with many human traffickers and slave merchants alone. I was so sleepy, I had to wake up, I had to kill, it helps, I died to... Back when I informed Mr. Hangman of the royal news in January, someone witnessed Balin, who was involved in the disappearance cases, with a MI9 member who is loyal to the royal family. Oh, Romero, yes, I guess when you popped in I was watching the H3 case or whatever the fuck. H3 published a video a couple days ago. Back when I informed the Hangman in January of the news in January, someone witnessed Balin, who was involved in the disappearance cases, with a MI9 member loyal to the royal family. Also, Backland's largest human trafficker, Capim, had guards from the Arbiter pathway. With so many matters compounded together, do you think that the Crazy Captain's death is simply related to pirate infighting? I've always wondered why the person behind all this needs so many slaves. They're trying to become a fucking god. I'm telling you. I'm actually becoming that crazy fucking person you see, who are like, oh, well, you see, there are lizard people living in the sewers, I'm telling you. And I'm like, no, you see, they're taking the slaves. They're trying to make a god. They're taking the slaves, I'm telling you. The connections between the clues were clearly presented before Audrey and company. It made them suddenly realize a lot. Mr. Willard left Backland and headed for the sea to seek out clues. He's always been investigating the truth behind the Great Smog and Prince Edisac's death. According to the information he provided, it's clear that the true murderer hasn't been punished. He's still hidden inside the royal family, and there's still a portion of the military who are working for him. How despicable. This kind of person should be thrown to hell. How does Mr. World know that the guards around Capim were from the Arbiter pathway? Did he fight them? Audrey's mind raced. Captain was killed by the hero bandit Black Emperor. Hero bandit Black Emperor is Mr. Fool's blessed. Mr. World is suspected to have connections to Mr. Fool. That's why he has never sought Roselle's diary pages. Therefore, Mr. World is hero bandit Black Emperor and the Fool's blessed? Very good! Very good, Audrey. Very clever. I mean, in this world, lizard people aren't that crazy. Kind of true. And do you think humans and dragons ever interbred in this world and there's like lizard people from there? Interesting question. He doesn't hand in Roselle's diary pages because he hands them over in private. Some of his actions from before were to hide the identity as a blessed. This is a test given to him by Mr. Fool. It really is hard to connect Mr. World with Hero Bandit Black Emperor. The latter feels like a hero. Audrey feels like she stumbled upon the truth as she began to wonder what kind of person the World, who was the Hero Bandit Black Emperor, was in real life. Alder and Cattleya instantly understood why Gehrman attacked Tracy. This blessed was seeking out the truth behind the Great Smaug of Backland, and the truth hidden behind this was something the Fool was also interested in. So the question, who did that? True. Forz and Amlin, who lived in Backland, also vaguely sensed something about the world when the world mentioned Capim. After all, Hero Bandit Black Emperor's legend was rather striking in the recent half a year. He became an important character in many run-of-the-mill novels. Even Forz herself had thought of making him a protagonist in a love story between a young hero bandit and a royal lady. By the way, at the end of this chapter, give your opinion on what I sent. Did you send a new one, a username? Alright, sounds good, but they finally understood the world had noticed in time that something was brewing in Backland and that a tragedy was to happen. This was because the gentleman had been tracking the corresponding clues over time. From the looks of it, the matter in Backland is far from over, and there will be another incident soon. I really wish to flee from this place immediately, but Gio wouldn't. I have no way to explain this to her. Come on, let's get Gio in the Tarot Club! I mean, first, if we could get... Edwina would never join, but I feel like Edwina would be a based part of the Tarot Club. Like, she'd have a lot of knowledge, that'd be handy. Emlyn wasn't too afraid. From his point of view, the Sanguine's important figures were in Backland, and were definitely able to provide some protection if a disaster really happened. After 2 seconds of silence, Alder said in a serious manner, "I will try my best to investigate this." He had already sensed the truth behind Crazy Captain's death hid a rather terrifying storm. As such, he was a little apprehensive and afraid. He also trembled with excitement that he was involved in the most terrifying matters regarding the southern and northern continent. She has a crush on Sparrow? I feel like she might have a little one after he saved her. Maybe? He's a handsome guy, you know? After Cattleya heard that, she nodded. I will also seek out relevant clues. If there are more clues provided, perhaps I might be of help. Klein thought for a moment before letting the world speak frankly. On the night of the Crazy Captain's death, a high-sequence Beyonder suspected to be of the Black Emperor pathway appeared on the ship, but this demigod managed to escape before Jan Kottman arrived. Black Emperor pathway, demigod. Yes, Romero, I know Anderson. I know you're gonna say Anderson. Black Emperor pathway, demigod. Alder and Cattleya ruminated over these words. Audrey and company were astonished that the Tarot Club had discussed the development of demigods to something directly involving Audrey and company were astonished that the Tarot Club had discussed the developments of demigods to something directly involving demigods. The cases that were involved were really increasing in level. As far as Derek, he didn't understand a thing. With the Crazy Captain's matter coming to a pass, Cattleya looked at the world before deliberating. Another incident happened recently. Last week, the crazy adventurer Gehrman hunted down the second mate of the King of Immortality, Slaughterer Kirchus. He was a Sequence 5 Beyonder. How impressive! Forz, who was only a Sequence 8 Beyonder, sighed from the bottom of her heart. She knew very well what it meant to be a Sequence 5. Well, yeah, because she wants to get a Sequence 5 killed. I think it's more because of how smart he is too. Oh, I think that's definitely a part of it, Bullseye. That's fair. Yes, he's a legendary adventurer, Audrey echoed. Emlyn turned to gape before he closed his mouth. He felt that he was still a distance away from that level. Alder said without any signs of unrest. It's because of this that the investigation of Gehrman's origins has become important for the major organizations. Are you implying that the Church of Storm has gotten you to investigate me? Klein instantly read between the lines as he made the world chuckle. Rare Nightwalker W. You know what, Nightwalker? At least he's giving you a compliment. It's kind of a backhanded one, but it's a compliment. Take it all the same, okay? I wonder if I can claim this commission. I want to use some unimportant information in exchange for money. I have some understanding of Gehrman. Oh, Mr. World is hinting that he doesn't mind me exchanging what appears to be important, but in reality is meaningless, regarding Gehrman for rewards and trust. The hanged man nodded in enlightenment. The free exchange continued for a while, until Derek finished learning this week's list of ancient Hermes terms before everything came to a close. As he watched the bowing Miss Justice and company leave, Klein cast his gaze onto Grozel's travel. 718. Listen, Nightwalker, Ramiro doesn't give out compliments often, okay? So, you know what? Whatever he's giving you, just take it. Oh yes, let me just check out what username sent really quickly, and then we'll get back to it. Nope. Oh, see, I think this looks dope as fuck. I mean, maybe you guys disagree, but I think that looks dope as fuck. I think this looks way better than this. This would, because the orange and the red don't make any sense to me, but this is dope as fuck. This, or I don't know what. Are these the same image? In my mind, they seem like the same image. Like, this looks dope as fuck to me. I don't know if you guys agree, but I think that looks fucking awesome. I made the text bigger, but didn't delete the old. What? What? What the fuck did he change? I don't know, whatever. But, okay, it looks awesome. I think that looks awesome, username. Okay. Text on bottom big? Is it bigger? Oh, I guess it's a little bit bigger. I see the text on. I see. Okay, I see it. Okay, let's go. Not finding himself overly exhausted, Klein rubbed his temples and beckoned over the tiny metallic bottle from the junk pile. Inside it was a tiny tube of blood that he went through great effort to extract from his vein. After he brought it above the grey fog, it was only waiting for the opportunity for when Klein would use his spirit body to enter Grozel's travel to explore the book world. After opening the cap, Klein wasn't in a hurry to smear the blood over the book's dark brown cover. By the way, what's the plan for the Donghua? Are we doing a watch party on Discord? I don't know, Ramiro. I plan on just doing it on, I plan on just doing a watch party on Discord. I don't want to stream it on the channel. If Easy wants to do it together, I'm very happy to. That'd be fucking awesome. If he wants to do it separately, I get it too, like content for him. I don't know if he wants to post it on YouTube or stuff, but like if you want, we can, I don't know what his plans are, but we can definitely talk about it if he's up for that. I think that'd be awesome. I really don't want to do it on the channel. I don't want to take the chance that the fucking entire channel gets fucking nuked out of existence. Because the problem is, it's probably not going to do anything until it does everything all at once, and I'm like, oh, I'm not taking that chance. We need the reaction videos, man. Bullseye. I really can. He said he'd be up for a watch party, and also he's going to stream it on Twitch. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The thing is, it's not gonna have any impact at all until they start claiming. And then when they start claiming, they're gonna claim all the episodes together. The problem with which is, so what happens on YouTube is, if you get one copyright strike, it's like a strike. You get two, it's like, hey, it's another strike on your channel, and then and then you lose some privileges, I think. And then if you get a third strike, your channel just gets removed. They're like, channel's gone. So if they hit all the episodes together and you have like the reactions on there for like 4 or 5 episodes up, your channel just gets nuked into fucking oblivion, and there's no chance of getting it back. Like, it's just not happening. So like, I'm not taking that chance. I'm super happy to do a Discord watch party. If you guys want to do it live, I can like make a fucking Kick account. If a fucking Kick gets banned, I don't give a fuck what happens. It's Kick, right? So that sort of stuff. Not after opening the cap, Klein was in a hurry to create a new channel. Stop wimping. Fuck you. In consideration, bro, we'll just do it on Discord. What's your problem? If you want, what we can do is we can watch it on Discord, and then I can upload like a video, but then we can just record separately for Patreon. That's not a horrible idea, Soul, but like, I just feel bad about it, you know? Problem, Discord username. You can join the Discord for the watch party and then leave, man. Holy shit, come on. No, what I'm thinking is, if you want, we can do like a watch party on Discord, and then after that, I will go back and I will cover the thing. I will cover the donghua for the record, and then we can do like audio only for like select bits or whatever. Maybe that's it, but like, in consideration of how the Black Emperor's form was too eye-catching, and with him not being certain of the exact situation in the book world, Klein decided against bringing the card of blasphemy. Instead, he used Azek's copper whistle to fortify his spirit body to prevent himself from failing to return above the Great Fog before being instantly killed by some unknown power. Like, any news? Yeah, basically, right? Like, I don't want to any news is like a good thing. Like, the videos I plan on making are, if you guys are curious, I've already shown this in the past, but like, right? So like, hey, like, here's what was cut, here's what was changed, and like, that's really handy, because like, a lot of that I can get from you guys as well, right? Because you guys will remember a lot more finer stuff than I will. I'll have like rough ideas, like, hey, in the web novel, I feel like I remember XYZ happening, but you guys will remember a lot more minute details, because, well, there's a lot more of you, and you've read the novel a lot more times generally, right? So like, that'll be handy. So we can just do something like this. Like, I feel like that's way better, because partially it's also that I also feel just kind of frankly bad. I don't like React content as a whole. Not to say it's a bad thing. But like, I just don't, because React content is like, most of it is like, hey, like, okay, we're just watching this thing, and then you get to see what I think about it. But like, that's, a lot of people worked on this, man. This donghua is going to be like millions of dollars worth of production value and stuff. So I want to actually inject some of my own value into it. Like, hey, I'm making a video, I actually thought about it, instead of just like watching a thing and then being like, wow, didn't you guys see how cool that is? And then you watch it for 3 more minutes and you go, wow, he looks so cool. Like, fuck me, dude. I feel like that's so ugh. Like I don't know. That's not the videos I want to make. Analyze yeah, exactly. I like more analytical stuff. Just do what Easy does. His reaction reduced. I think you can. Yeah. I don't know if there's like a number to it, Bullseye. I don't know if that's how that works. Like generally I found if I use if I use continuous footage in a video that's longer than about 20 seconds, it'll get copyright struck. But if I use like longer than 10-second clips and then I like interject and then I have like photos and I have like me talking or whatever in the middle, it's fine. So I don't know. It probably just depends to what degree it's copyrighted and to what degree they choose to enforce that. I don't know offhand. Okay, let's continue. As the ancient exquisite whistle fused into his body, Klein's spirit body swelled up and became more corporeal. Two pitch-black flames flared out of the eye sockets as though they possessed a life of their own. With the help of cogitation, he adjusted his spirituality, converging the iciness that stemmed from the aspect of death within his own body. Soon, his eyes returned to normal. No, that's the thing. Like, I don't want it to be like obviously partially it's like, hey, I don't want to do stuff I'm not passionate about because I feel like you guys can tell. Like, I feel like viewers are watching. Fuck you, Nagato. I feel like viewers can tell if like I'm just talking about a thing and it's like I'm going through the motions. I feel like that's separate as opposed to like a thing I'm really excited to talk about. Like I feel like when I make content about Lord of the Mysteries, like I'm so excited to talk about it. Like when I make the volume ending videos, I find those so fun because I get to talk about stuff I've been thinking about so much, right? So I just don't want to make stuff that I'm not passionate about because I feel like that comes across. Yes, I don't know where I was. Two pitch black flames flared out of his eye sockets as though they possessed a life of their own. With the help of cogitation, he adjusted his spirituality, converging the iciness that stemmed from the aspect of death within his body. Soon, his eyes returned to normal. This was like an evil spirit taking on an ordinary form to lure prey into its proximity. Right on the heels of that, Klein wore creeping hunger and held death knell, while he hid the beyonder characteristic in his body. The latter was prepared for him to seek out any abnormalities when exploring the dreams of the living entities in the book world. At least record it and try one video. If it doesn't go, keep doing it. But if it doesn't, how many strikes? I don't have any strikes, Bullseye. I don't do anything that gets me strikes. Like I don't have any even when I that's why it's really annoying. Some viewers find it really annoying, but like even when I'm watching a trailer, I will watch no more than 5 seconds of it at a time before pausing and then like talking. Because I'm like, listen, I'm not taking any fucking chances, you know? I get it. 1 strike out of 3 is like, it's not that bad. It'll go away after 90 days if I don't do any more fuck shit, so it's fine. But, you know, I feel like this whole thing is like, part of me is still just a kid, dude. Like, I find this like YouTube stuff like really cool. I just find it really fucking cool. So it's like, why would I ever do anything that has a chance of getting it taken away? This is just like, this is so cool to me. After completing all his preparations, he poured a few drops of blood and smeared it over Grozel's travel. After a brief period, his vision turned blurry, as though countless translucent objects were hiding within. Following that, it turned clear. There were blue skies, white clouds, grayish-brown city walls, and passerbys. This is no longer the land of ice and snow from before, but a city that looks normal on the surface. Klein stood by the side of the dirt as he observed the residents of the book world. He discovered that most of them wore linen shirts, a short brown coat, loose dark brown trousers. Their overall style was akin to that of the Lone Kingdom centuries ago. Then you have room to play. Just try it, man. You don't. You do. I know easier. Probably just a reaction. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't mind doing reactions. I just don't want that to be like my thing. I just don't want to be like a react channel. Like, hey, let's go to him to get the like, yeah, reacts might be on there. Like, I have trailer reacts and stuff. It's not like I'm like viscerally opposed to it, but it's like I just don't want that to be my thing. I don't want someone to like think of my channel and go, oh, like the reacts guy. It's like, get me the fuck out of there. He looked down at the format of the tailcoat, starched shirt, and damaged dark red bow tie as he silently changed it all. Instantly, he was no different from the people around him. Become the lore accurate Lord of the Mysteries channel? Like, see, that's actually something I would love. Like, I would love to, in time, make videos about, like, the history of the third epoch, the history of the fourth epoch. Like, that's awesome. I feel like that'd be really cool content. That's the kind of content I would like to watch. He looked down at the format of the... he then walked out of the city gates in preparation to enter. At that moment, a leather-vested soldier at the gate stopped him. Entrance fee, 1 little. Do I look rich? I don't even know what the fuck a little is, Klein mumbled inwardly. He then communicated with him at a spiritual level, successfully transferring the soldier's attention onto a merchant caravan behind him. As a quasi-wraith who could possess anyone and control them, exerting a psychological influence on others was nothing extraordinary. It wasn't a particularly potent ability. It was extremely useful against ordinary people. Like old Mr. Mysteries? I don't know who the fuck that is. When Klein entered the city, he walked through the streets in a seemingly relaxed manner, but he inwardly remained wary. He felt that public hygiene was slightly better than Backland a few years ago. Just have diversity, you know, sprinkle a bit of reacts with the lore. Yeah, exactly. That's totally fine, Bullseye. I wouldn't mind that. And what you said is fair. Like, I might do a react to the first episode, see how it goes. If it does well and I don't see any signs of it getting taken down, we might be okay. But I just, again, like, I know, fuck's sake, sorry, I'm gonna stop reading again. Fuck, we're not getting a lot of reading done today. Kill me. This is like, this is a channel I know because he and I started our channels about the same time. And there was a time, a long time ago, that he and I were about the same size. So I remember him. And he does lives where, like, yeah, like he'll do lives where, like, he'll react to One Piece episodes. Oh, for fuck's sakes, you're kidding me. God damn it. Hold on. So, like, where is he? Where is it? No ad block? No, I don't. See, like, he has it, like, he has it in, he has it, like, really tiny here, and he has it upside down, so, like, so it's probably fine. And it's like, and here's the thing, his channel is like really cool to me. Like, it's what I would, to a degree, would like to emulate, because like he does reactions, but it's not his fucking thing. Like that, like he has way, right? I don't even, like, I don't, for fuck's sake, I don't know. Yeah, so like it's playing, but there's no, like, there's no audio, so like there's no chances of him getting copyright struck. But he does have, but he does have, like, most of his videos are, like, you know, dealing, like, talking about, lore, talking about, like, characters, whatever. Like, this is what I would love to do. Exactly. So, like, I'm not opposed to doing, like curious, would you guys be okay if we did stream reacts in the same sort of, or sorry, like episode reacts same way he's doing? Like, you guys can't hear it, unfortunately, which I know fucking sucks, but like, you know, I mean, I don't know why he doesn't have any music on. That feels kind of silly. maybe I'll recommend it to him. But like, you know, like, just it's there so we can kind of watch it together. Yes, but like, there's no chance of me getting copyright struck in a fucking oblivion. You know, like if I was gonna do live reactions, this is how I would be thinking to do them. Like, it's really tiny. It's there so you guys, like, if you guys are following along, you'll know where I am in the episode. But, like, you know. Yeah. Okay, sorry. I've been yapping. Holy yappers. Get me the fuck out of here. I don't know if you guys are typing because my chat hasn't updated in like 5 minutes. What the fuck? Okay. That's fine. Yeah, man, like, apart from Lord of the Mysteries, what else actually gonna be reacting to? And maybe a little audio for the cool parts and just a little bit bigger. Yeah, like, maybe. Yeah, exactly. Like, for the, like, if there's like a really, really cool scene, like where he's like, a seer, are you sure? Like old Neil. Like, yeah, we can do audio for like little snippets or whatever, right? Like, that'd be cool. I don't know, I'm doing other stuff right now. Fuck you. Fuck you guys. You're so mean. As a quasi-wraith who could possess anyone and control them, exerting a psychological influence on others was nothing extraordinary. It wasn't even a particularly potent ability, just something useful against ordinary people. Can the stream have it in normal mode, but the live that is on the channel be safe from copyright? Ramiro, I'm gonna need you to reword that like a lot more coherently, bro. Can the stream have it in normal mode, but the live that is be safe from what? Okay. I can't tell that this is an illusory world inside a book at all. Everyone has spirit body threads. Klein proceeded forward as he observed. Dude, that's so cool. This is just like a thing. Like, for when watching stream in real time, can it be normal? When you say normal, does that mean like it's straight up and there's audio? What does normal mean? But the VOD be changed? No. If I was gonna do that, Ramiro, what would need to happen is I would need to do the stream, finish the stream, delete it after, and then post it as a video later. Kind of what Easy does with his streams, because he doesn't do VODs. Won't you still get banned? Yes. If it's all there with audio, yes, for sure. I will let Easy be yes, I will let Easy be the fucking scapegoat. We'll let him do stuff. If his channel gets banned, I won't do it. I'm so mean. Sorry, you guys know that was a joke, right? Okay. By the way, this is so cool. This is just like an item an old god made, and everyone has like spirit body threads. That's crazy. Jump to kick then. YouTube sounds so complicated. You can do this, react in VC and record it. Yes, Nagito, that is a thing we can do. So what we can do is I can do it in Discord. We can all watch it together, actually watch it. And then after I record it, I edit the background so that it can't be seen and the thing can't be heard. I can put it on like 2 different audio tracks or whatever. However the fuck I'm going to work that out. Mute it out, only have it safe in certain places. So like we can do that. Beside, suddenly he noticed a stone building that was more than 10 meters tall to his side. It had only 2 stories, and the top of the door was about 4 meters tall. Inside the building was a signboard. It was written in a language that was completely different from any of the outside worlds, but Klein instantly understood that it meant Pesot Blacksmith Guild. Blacksmith Guild. Bro, he might be able to get some cool shit. I mean, I don't even know what Klein wants at this point, but get a sword, goddammit. There's a blacksmith guild. This place really hasn't entered the age of steam. Just as Klein felt poignant, he saw the door creak open, and out walked a giant with 4 long limbs. The giant's skin was grayish blue, and his head had a trademark single vertical eye. In his hand was a huge and heavy sledgehammer. He walked across the street with his lips curled. The humans walking past him didn't show any fear, as though it was a common sight. They even greeted the giant. "Good afternoon, Groselle." Groselle? Klein, who was rather face-blind to giants, had his pupils constrict. Only then did he realize the familiarity. Groselle isn't a real person. Groselle is a book character. The reason he died at the end is because he's scripted to die at the end, because he can't leave the book. Oh, so clever. See, I knew there was going to be some bullshit like this. That's why I was not that sad when Groselle died, because I was like, okay, he's probably meant to die. When everyone else died, I was really sad though. Just as he was about to chase after them, when he observed that the giant had turned into another street, vanishing from his sights. Klein stood on the spot, silently observing the intersection. There's another Groselle? No, the ending of the travels is that Groselle died in the battle. This is another story? Filled with all kinds of questions, Klein wasn't in a rush to find Groselle. He turned and entered a bar by the side of the street. Bro, he wasn't in a rush to find Groselle? Why the fuck not, bro? Such places were often the place where the most messy and multifarious information in a city. It aided him in quickly gaining the grasp of the entire situation. The bar's lighting was dim and the ventilation wasn't the best, making the air appear somewhat turbid. At that moment, there weren't many customers drinking. Most of the people were by the bar counter, happily chatting with each other or the bartender. Klein slowly walked over when his gaze froze. Mobet Zoroast? Are they all book members? Are they? No, they can't all be. What? Are you telling me they're all book characters? Is the old god strong enough to just create fucking Beyonder characteristics out of nowhere? What? What? Upon seeing this, Klein recalled the scene of the Dream Stealer's rapid aging as he collapsed onto the ground and struggling to crawl towards the elvish songster Sciatus. All of that remained clear as day, as though it just happened yesterday. Yet Mobet appeared again before his eyes. Klein's expression grew heavy as he walked over and sat beside Mobet. He didn't say a word, as he knew that Mobet was the one to start a conversation. Outsider. First time in Pessoat? I swear I've met you before. Mobet put down the cup of distilled liquor as he turned his head. I come from the nation of Frost. Klein rapidly cooked up a story. Mobet immediately laughed. You're a funny one. This is the nation of Frost. But of course, that was many years ago. Ever since the King of the North was killed by a bunch of adventurers, no, heroes, this place is no longer plagued by ice and snow. Everyone believes that it should be called a nation of Neverwinter. The plot chickens! Hold on, sorry, I just need to organize my thoughts. Hold on, I just couldn't help but make that joke. Hold on. Okay, so the story is continuing, but there's the same base characters. So the story ended. There's a it's like a sequel story. It's like Groselle's Travel 2. Percy Jackson 2. But why is it the same characters? Were these not people? I'm so confused. Klein felt silent without responding. Why so serious? Why so serious? It looks like you're having your own troubles. Mobet rapped the wooden counter. I'm telling you, men should absolutely not get married. It's the beginning of suffering. Do you know? When she gets worked up a little, she would beat me up. Oh, he's married to Sciatus. He's married to Sciatus, isn't he? When she's happy, she beats me up. Wait, what? When she's embarrassed or happy, same thing. Anyway, she beats me up for no reason. From this point, I've decided not to return home again. Wait, what is happening? It's like if we kill Wiz, we see his streams from the afterlife. That doesn't make sense. Wait, what? Why are we killing me? I thought your problem was with Ramiro, Nightwalker. What? Does this mean you got married to Sciatus? Klein kept silent for 2 seconds as he sized up Mobet's face. He discovered that there were no signs of bruising or swelling on his face. This meant that the elvish songster knew the man had appearances to keep up. He sighed. He asked with a sigh, "Then why did you marry her?" I came here with a merchant caravan. When I saw her, she was so beautiful. Her singing was moving and seemed to hide indescribable sorrow. Elven songster. It's definitely Sciatus. I'm as afraid of her now as I was infatuated with her back then. I definitely won't return. Hey, why do you seem so sad? You don't have to be sad for me. I'm already free. At that moment, the bar opened as a beautiful woman shouted, "Mobet, come out here! I'm counting from 10. Never come back if you don't come home. 10. 9. Mobet immediately jumped and ran to the door. I know you don't have any patience. You always jump to 2 after counting to 8, okay? Klein saw his body and saw Sciatus' figure, but he no longer had the intention of communicating with her. The real Mobet and Sciatus were already dead. The ones living in the book were just 2 characters. Oh, I see. Klein's theory is that they were real. The book, just having had them in the book for so long, absorbed their characteristics. Absorbed is probably not the right word given the connotations in the world, and then is reusing those characters as like characters in the sequel. Like, What do you mean W Mobet? Bro, he's whipped. Standing up and leaving the bar, Klein came to a nearby deserted alley. He planned on confirming the kind of spirit world this world had. They left the characteristics after they died. They real? I figured that, Thunder. I did figure that. But then, as soon as I saw them back, I was like, wait. I thought maybe the dragon of imagination was somehow strong enough to imagine new characteristics for the characters, if that makes sense. He quickly outlined spherical lights in his mind, and his thoughts gradually emptied as his body and mind became tranquil. No. Standing up and leaving the bar, Klein came to a nearby deserted alley. He planned on confirming the kind of spirit world this world had. He quickly outlined spherical lights in his mind as his thoughts gradually emptied and his body became mind and tranquil. As his spirituality spread out bit by bit, several indescribable illusory figures appeared before him. Hey, remember what the dragon pathway can do? Yeah, exactly. The dragon of imagination. He can just make like basically anything he can think of come to life. So like that's why I thought like maybe, right? Visionary, fucking Grammy from Bleach. As his spirituality leaked out bit by bit, several indescribable illusory figures appeared around him. However, up high in the sky, it lacked the 7 lustrous brilliances of different colors that contained endless knowledge. The 7 lights don't exist here. Interesting. The number of spirit world creatures here is lacking. This place is indeed a fake spirit world created by the book. Klein took a step forward and found the colors in his visions saturate to the extreme as it overlapped with the obvious differences. Hey, you remember one of the guys didn't drop characteristics as the characteristic he had was fake, so were his... Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean, Nightwalker. That's why... Oh, yeah, I guess. Because if his powers were fake, then theirs would have been too. Okay, I see what you mean. Okay, so I should have been able to figure that out before. Fair. He wasn't in a rush to explore the spirit world. He exited and began window shopping through Pessoud and chatted with others. Before long, he found Grozel's residence. The giant ran a blacksmith shop. He was taking an afternoon nap on the huge bed on the second story. Klein entered by passing through the wall and coming to Grozel's side. He observed the giant for a few seconds and took out the Nightmare Beyonder characteristic from his spirit body. With some difficulty, he used some of the powers that it naturally came equipped with. Deep, serene darkness quickly spread out as it enveloped Klein and Grozel, and in the spirit body state, Klein directly saw a blob of irregular, hazy, spherical light. His spirituality immediately emanated and touched the light. All sorts of scattered scenes instantly flashed past around him, before fixating on a forest with towering but withered trees. The forest where he lived in the Giant King's court? On the other side of the forest was a mountain and steep cliffs. On the top of the cliff was a magnificent palace. The palace was huge and opulent. Opulent? The opulent villa of Earl Hall? Coincidence? I think not. And it didn't seem suitable for humans. It gave him the impression that it was like a myth, as the light of dusk that scattered above it seemed frozen. Klein had seen this place before. It was the Giant King's court that had appeared in his dream world in the battlefield of gods. However, this angle was different from before. He was situated behind the King's court. Wait, Ramiro, quick question. Now, for the final volume 3 stream, should I read 725 in that stream, or should I read 725 today and then 726 through the end next stream? That stream? Okay. So until 724 this stream. And volume 3 today. Yeah, I don't have that in me. Thunder, I gotta get up early, bro, to get everything ready for my nephew's birthday and stuff. Okay. But hey, volume 3 ending Sunday morning, at least my time. Who the fuck knows what it's going to be for everyone here. The stream is already published, so like, if you guys want to post it on Reddit, if you want to tell your grandma about it, I don't know, tell everyone, I don't know, whatever. Do that. I don't know. I don't have the ability to sell, okay? That's not in me. I'm just here, okay? Anyone that shows up, I love all of you guys, but I don't have it in me to sell, okay? Happy early birthday. Oh, thank you, Livion. I appreciate that, man. He's a year old, so he wouldn't know how to say it to you, so I will say it on his behalf. 7 p.m. for me, 9 for Ramiro. Okay. Alright, I'm telling you. And Easy's probably gonna stream tomorrow. You goddamn tell him. If he overlaps with that stream, we're gonna have a problem, goddamn it. Alright. Wait, 11 o'clock for you? 11 p.m.? Oh, I'm so sorry. Jesus Christ. Klein turned his gaze to the forest, where lights could hardly penetrate through its denseness, having gained a rough idea of where he was. This was the waning forest which Grozel guarded. The trees in the forest were tens of meters tall, and the thickness of the trees was the arm span of several giants. However, their barks were mottled with signs of rot everywhere. The leaves and twigs were mostly withered, and dropping as they interwove with each other like a dark cloud floating in midair. Grozel and similar-looking giants guarded the boundary of the forest, either carrying axes or broadswords, fully concentrating on defending the area. Easy not streaming Saturday, I think? Bro, if he overlaps with the stream on Sunday, I'm gonna be so ticked. According to Grozel, this waning forest has the bodies of Giant King Ormir's father and mother buried in it. Apart from this ancient god, no one is allowed to step inside, including these guards. Yes, Giant King Ormir's parents should be so-called original giants, the kind that was the craziest, cruelest, and most ferocious. Perhaps, why would Grozel have such a dream? Klein was in thought when he suddenly realized something amiss. Like, think about it. theoretically, Grozel isn't even a fucking real person. We're gonna assume that Grozel is a character that Ormir made up out of nowhere, okay? Grozel's not a real person. And if that's the case, Grozel has not only a backstory, Grozel has memories of his backstory, and he has dreams of those memories. Think about how detailed a world an artifact made by Ormir is. Think about how well it's made. It has a spirit world. It has spirit body threads for each individual characters. This is what like fucking GTA. This is what a Rockstar promises GTA 6 is gonna be. Okay. According to his random conversations in Passaut, the present Grozel was a native giant who had nothing to do with the Giant King's court. Therefore, having such a dream made it rather abnormal. What about Grozel's characteristic? Did Grozel drop a characteristic? I don't remember Ramiro offhand. If easy stream, your prediction would be wrong, and you will lose your credit. What? Wait, he did have a... Oh, he did have a characteristic? Okay. The one Danitz got? Oh, okay, I didn't remember that. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Even still, okay, even still, then it just goes one step back, right? Then a real person that was in the book, it absorbed so much of them that it absorbed their memories. It absorbed their dreams they would have about their memories. That's so detailed. From the Psychology Alchemists, a theory with Ma'am Daly and Miss Justice have discussed before. Perhaps the book world will use or clone the original character's subconscious or collective subconscious when creating a character. Then it will make minor changes, making the consciousness fulfill the required settings. Therefore, Grozel's dream will be influenced by his subconscious, reproducing life in the Giant King's court. If that's the case, it can only be said that this book is a cruel author. The moment Klein thought of this, he suddenly had an idea. Do you think there will be a mirrored Klein 2? No. I feel like Klein, Danitz, Anderson were not in the book long enough to be cloned. Maybe that's dumb, but that's what I feel like. There might be a cloned Edwina, though. He felt that this was an opportunity for him to gather relevant information on the Giant King's court. Is it weird that in my mind I sometimes get Edwina and Cattleya confused for a second? Like, I have to accurately go, like, who? He previously planned on directly learning about such matters through Grozel, but in order to keep his promises, the Giant Guardian had died in the battle with the King of the North, Yulisan, and his spirit body left the book world. It quickly dissipated without giving him any chance of communication. Now, he finally had another method, which was to explore Grozel's dream. There had to be parts of it that were ridiculous or exaggerated, but the remaining content had to be a reflection of a reality. As long as an approach of careful study is employed, it's not impossible to distinguish the two. Officially... Oh my god, it's less than a week! Let's go! Oh, it's gonna air at this time. Oh, okay. Damn, night stream haters are gonna be so mad when we do. Okay, I'm curious. Would you guys be up for night streams to react to this, or would you prefer me to react to them in the morning? I guess it'll kind of depend on what Easy's doing too, because I want to be considerate of that too. Like if Easy's if Easy wants the daytime, I'll take the nighttime. Like I want to be considerate. So we'll see. So 9,800 minutes? Jesus Christ. How do you just know that? Morning stream is best? That's what I would think. That might work better. Yeah. We'll just have to see. Okay. Yeah. Fuck, man. Jesus. Sorry. Have you ever, cutting your nails and then you, cut a little too deep? Like, fuck, my fucking ring finger hurts so much. Shit. Grozel never entered the waning forest, so the scenes inside must stem from his imagination. There is no need to implore it. Klein slowly cast his gaze onto a mountain where the giant king's court was. It wasn't tall, which meant that the waning forest was on a mountain rather close to the giant king's court. It was probably just a straight path from there to the god's residence. Klein didn't waste searching as he walked straight to Grozel and acted like he knew him very well. He said, "How should I return to the giant king's court?" He knew that Grozel was an honest giant and that he would only be more honest in the dream. Grozel turned his hand to scratch the back of his head as he said, "Isn't it simply by taking the barrel tunnel?" He pointed ahead and said, "You'll see it when you circle that boulder." "Thank you," Klein sighed with a bow. As he watched Klein depart, Grozel scratched the back of his head, muttering to himself in confusion. Who is he? Why do I find him so familiar? After circling a boulder that protruded out of the mountain, the scene opened before Klein's eyes. A gigantic cave, at least 30 meters tall, appeared in his vision. Erected outside the cave was a stone stele? What is S-T-E-L-E? I don't know this word. Stele. A central core of the stem and root of a vascular plant. Engraved on it was a single vertical eye, a high nose, and plush lips. It looked like a giant's head had been squeezed in it to reveal the frontal facial features. Just as Klein approached, the mouth of the stele opened. "Why are you returning to the giant king's court ahead of time?" By His Majesty's order," Klein said in an unflustered tone. After all, the intelligence level of all living beings in this dream was equivalent to the owner, Grozel. "Please answer a question, otherwise you shall not pass." Could Grozel, what the fuck? Could Eridus have been a part of the giant king's court? And atop the steps that Klein is going in the gray fog is the giant king's court? I originally had this theory a long time ago because it always mentioned that the palace in the gray fog was fit for a giant, and I was like, I'm curious. If only I brought Eridus. It would be rather fun to see what happens. Klein lampooned as he calmly nodded. Okay. If your wife, daughter, and a woman you covet ask you to judge which of them is the most beautiful, which would you judge? My intelligence is insufficient to determine the matter. I will assign someone more intelligent to give me the correct answer. Who is this more intelligent person? Of course, it's our king. Bro, you already know the giant king's court is near the city of Silver? Yeah, I don't mean the physical giant king's court. I mean like a representation of it. That doesn't make any sense either. No, scratch that. Okay. The stele was shocked beyond words. It took quite a moment before saying, "All right, I'll consider it. As long as you answer the question, you may pass." Klein immediately crossed the strange stele and walked into the cave. The ground in the cave was paved with large stone panels that had been weathered. The sides and top of the cave were filled with murals, speaking of stories of the giant and dragons battling the demonic wolves, mutants, devils, and phoenixes. Their drawing style was crude and the color of choice was dark. However, it was vivid. Klein walked forward. As he observed the murals, he discovered that there were swaths of withered weeds as well as all kinds of coarse gravel in between the stone panels. And the lack of water and decline of life had become more apparent the deeper he ventured inside. After walking for an unknown period of time, he saw a pair of grayish-blue open doors. Standing on each side of the door was a 4 to 5 meter tall giant. Sorry, I thought it said 4-armed giant. The giants guarding this place were different from Grozel and the others. They wore solid, beautiful, iron-black armor and firm, exquisite helms. They looked like giant statues. They didn't stop Klein and allowed him to pass. The hall inside wasn't too spacious. The ends of the hall could be seen clearly, and it could probably only hold 5 or 6 giants. As Klein was observing the environment, he suddenly halted. Then the hall seemed to be pulled up by an invisible hand as it quickly rose. An elevator? He staggered a little before finding his footing. All he saw were grayish-black walls flashing by as they kept sweeping downwards. In about 10 seconds there was a thud as the hall stopped ascending. At this moment, it wasn't a cave tunnel outside, but a magnificent palace propped up by stone columns. This is the Giant King Court's elevator? This seems to be the place where the guards live. Outside is a long table taller than humans. Elden Ring style elevator, true. He has to step on a plate or something so that the guy underneath knows oh. Bro, can you imagine? If there's a physical guy underneath pushing it up, how happy he's got to be that it's a regular person instead of 5 giants standing on top. He's like, holy shit, this is so much easier. The giants are fat as fuck. This seems to be the place where the guards live. Outside is a long table taller than humans and extremely large chairs. On the 2 sides are rooms, and inside are neatly ordered beds. Klein swept past the various items in the hall before he stopped at the mural. The mural's main character was a giant dressed in full-body silver armor. As there was nothing to scale, Klein was unable to know exactly how tall he was. The giant stood by the side of the cliff, with a sword in hand pointing diagonally upwards. His body emitted a bright halo, like a rising sun, illuminating the surroundings. Many giants were genuflecting around him, as though praying or worshipping him and awaiting his bestowment. The Giant King's son, god of dawn, Badhael? Klein looked at the face of the mural's main character and thought, when he saw his face was blocked by a mask, there was only a dawn-like halo coming from his eyes. It's very similar to the God of Combat statue in the Backland underground ruins. His face is completely hidden by a mask. Add all this stuff? Yeah, of course. Queen Mystic said before that the God of Combat is a giant who lived from ancient times. Therefore, their church's headquarters, the Great Twilight Hall, resembled the Giant King's court. Could it be that the son of the Giant King, God of Dawn, escaped the destruction of the King's court and at a certain point in time managed to retake the authority wielded by his father? Klein made a bold guess, but he lacked any evidence. See, that's what I was going to go with. I was going to say, what if Ormir died and then his son went back to kill the gods that stole his authority? So he killed, right? And then he just started fighting all of them. He was like, all of you can catch this smoke, the Lord of Storm, whatever, not the Lord of Storm, but Sonya Theorem and whatever, all of you can catch the smoke, fuck it. Okay, let me add that. Don't take Klein's credit. Man, y'all don't support me at all. Fuck you guys. Ancient gods. Ormir, Ormir, Ormir. Ormir, good. We'll put this under Ormir lore. One giant puzzle, fuck you. He used the corresponding principle to look at the wall opposite the mural. There was also a mural there, but the character was no longer the god of dawn, but instead a female giant. Umbella? Is that her name? This female giant stood sideways, her facial contours were soft, and her single vertical eye was focused beneath her. Long, dark brown hair reached all the way to her back. Her right hand was spread out as she held items like wheat and fruit, yes, the god of harvest or whatever, Umbella. Around her were golden fields, clear lakes, and tree covered with fruits and colorful mushrooms. Giant queen, god of harvest, Umbella. I remembered that. Give me some credit. Klein looked around, but he didn't see the mural representing the giant king Ormir. There's no depiction of a giant god because this is the residence of remote guards? Then going out from here will likely be the interior of the giant king's court. Klein carefully walked to the door and used the method he employed in the dream of the battlefield, Ruins of the Gods, by activating creeping hunger and using the strength of a zombie to open the door. However, there wasn't a palace in the frozen dusk that he imagined outside. Instead, it was a gray, hazy world. It appeared to be a cliff with a bottomless pit. According to Miss Justice's previous experience, this is likely the boundary of the dream. The only way is to head down and enter Grozel's subconscious. Finally, I'll arrive at the Sea of Collective Subconscious. Miss Justice discovered a mind dragon in the human Sea of Collective Subconscious where she was. Then, in this book world created by the Dragon of Imagination, what could be contained in the Sea of Collective Subconscious? Klein's mind whirred as he conjured a staircase that led down into the hazy world. I love how everyone is like having their own unique adventures in the Tarot Club, and Klein is like, fuck you guys, okay? This is my story. All of them are my adventures, and he has to do, like, Alder is out at sea fighting pirates. Klein is like, fuck it, I can't let him have all the glory. I'm fighting pirates now. The son is like, oh, like, I'm like trying to figure out this piece of shit named Amon. He's like, not anymore. I'm fighting Amon. Like, this motherfucker won't let anyone have their own shit. He's like, no, it's all mine. What the fuck? The staircase didn't head straight down, but it spiraled around deep into the gray haze. The bottom couldn't be seen, nor were there any details of the mind world that were possible to discern. 720 Philosopher. This music is so good, dude. What the fuck? After silently observing it for a few seconds, Klein walked forward as he got onto the staircase and carefully walked down. The surrounding light gradually dimmed. Oh wait, I didn't change the title, I just changed the number. Hold on. Damn, I was rocking my chair, I broke it. No! No, Ramiro, no. Almost died? Okay, that seems a bit dramatic. Almost died. The surrounding light gradually dimmed with a gray, hazy luster that enveloped the entire extremely silent world. The moment Klein proceeded down the stairs, he felt more and more like he was being locked into a dark, silent room. Slowly, his ears could hear the blood sloshing and his heart beating. Do you know this is true? We have like a room that's like so deathly quiet that apparently you can hear your own blood circulating in your body. This is apparently true, that if it gets quiet enough, you can hear that. We just, you don't ever get quiet enough that you can hear that normally. What's the coldest line or quote you can think of before entering a fight? I'm either thinking something extraordinarily serious. We know it's common knowledge for Lord of the Mysteries nerds. Okay. I'm either thinking something extremely serious, in which case a Batman quote comes to mind, or I'm thinking extremely funny. Those are the only two options, okay? So if I'm thinking like a Batman quote, like a particular Batman quote that comes to mind is, I feel like this was him like after it's Morbin time. There's a particular Batman quote. I can't remember which comic it was from, but it was like after he got his shit kicked in by Bane, I think, and then he had to go fight him again. And Alfred was like, no, Master Wayne, you can't. He's like, Alfred, all men have limits. They learn what they are and learn not to exceed them. I ignore mine. I feel like that was hard as fuck when I read that as a kid. Okay, I was like, oh my god, Batman, my goat. Okay, or second. I'm thinking something really funny, and I'm thinking, wait, oh my god, I forgot. Okay, that Batman quote was too hard. I forgot it. Hold on. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, or you're like running into a fight, and it's like impossible odds, and everyone's like, guys, I don't know if we can do this, and you go, Leroy Jenkins. Those are the two options, okay? I don't know, pick either of those. I feel like either of those are great. The latter sped up as it was invaded by panic and horror, which he could hardly keep in check. Klein focused his mind as he imagined the stacks of spherical light so as to stabilize his emotions and recover. To his side, a grayish-white cliff coldly stood there, a representation of the domain of Grozel's consciousness. It was silent, as though it was dead, but the surrounding grayness would occasionally coruscate. Klein focused his gaze and saw that in one of the points of light there was a giant who ripped apart a human before stuffing it into his mouth, as well as Grozel panicking. Back then, the latter was less than 3 meters tall. He was clearly still an adolescent. That point of light flashed past. I can't glaze iced coffee enough? I agree. My mom is not happy about it. Yeah, bro, you broke the chair. You're not fat enough to be breaking chairs, Romero. I mean, you might be. I don't know. I might have been very insensitive there. I don't know. You might be. The point of light flashed past, appearing in the frozen dusk that scattered above the mountain peak. Time here seems to become impeded. Klein was about to seek out any valuable information in Grozel's subconscious when he heard voices akin to a beast's panting. With a whoosh, a huge palm appeared in the surrounding haze. Its skin was grayish-blue and was covered with signs of rot. On it was an obvious yellowish-green liquid as it quickly grabbed Klein's ankle. Only reason I ain't fat is because I'm too lazy to eat. How are you too lazy to eat? It's like one of like 3 main human like biological imperatives. What does that mean? Amidst the panting sound, similar palms rose up one after another from the staircase below, as if they were attempting to forcibly pull Klein's spirit body into the mind world's darkest and most unfathomable zone. Instantly, these rotting palms formed a dense horde, I think is what it's meant to say, as they kept struggling upwards and let out a sound of horrible, hair-raising panting. It made Klein instinctively jump up 3 steps. However, the countless palms that belonged to a giant corpse didn't stop. They squirmed along the staircase as they surged upwards, covering every inch of space. Eating feels like too much work sometimes? Hello, bro, you might just be depressed, bro. No, it's real. I eat 2 times or sometimes even once a day. Eating takes too much energy. You guys just might be depressed, bro. That's not normal. That's not good. Eating shouldn't feel like a chore. Eating shouldn't feel like a task. You're all like this? Hold on. Like, I feel like everyone in chat is like, yeah, the same. No, like, you shouldn't feel lazy for, like, one of the, like, 2 or maybe 3 biological human imperatives. Like, your brain just shouldn't be too tired for that. Like, your brain will make energy for that. Like, that's not okay. Shut the... Okay. Like, seriously, you might actually be depressed. That's not... You shouldn't be too lazy to eat. Have you ever been too lazy to sleep? I don't know what that means, Walter. You're lazy, go to bed. Like, I'm lazy, but I'm not... What does that mean? No, I don't know what that means. Klein was just about to reach in his right palm to draw Death Knell and use Purifying Bullets combined together with Death Knell's Slaughterer ability to finish off these countless monsters, when 2 questions flashed in his mind. Where do these palms come from? Why would they be in Roselle's subconscious? I feel like sleeping is wasting too much time. Yeah, we've talked about this, Romero. Sleeping is the best, okay? Sleeping is like... time goes by, but like, I don't have to do anything. Sleeping is the fucking best. The moment this thought came to his mind, his spiritual perception was triggered. Klein came to a realization that he immediately abandoned his thoughts of using Death Knell and calmed his breathing and imagined the spherical lights. The huge rotting palms took this opportunity to reach his feet and grab at his ankles and calves. At that moment, they silently vanished as though they never appeared. Indeed, this is an illusion created by Groselle's subconscious. Here, minds don't face each other, but they interact with each other. If one lacks the corresponding Beyonder powers, the deeper one goes, the easier it is to have a mental breakdown. Intrusion by other party subconscious will slowly happen until one's Beyonder powers are severely tainted. As a result, one will become a mental patient that will never be able to recover their rationality. And this might very well lead to a loss of control. This is different from communicating with spirits. Corruption isn't avoided by maintaining lucidity or reason. This is because one is already inside the target's Beyonder powers. He hesitated for a few seconds before turning around to climb back up the stairs. He gave up on venturing deeper into Groselle's mind because he lacked the powers to placate his own mind. Insisting on heading downwards was equivalent to suicide. Don't remind me of sleep and read. I barely stopped myself from dropping unconscious. Going to bed and still tired is genuinely soul-crushing. I have that like when I'm sick, like I'll wake up and I'll be like, I'm already like tired, which fucking sucks. But like I don't have that normally. True, Klein not courting death. I'll consider exploring again after I find a mystical item that targets this aspect. Klein determined his thoughts as he walked faster. Finally, with a leap, he returned to Groselle's dreamscape and returned to the guard's quarters. He already felt exhausted, so he left the dream, walking out of Groselle's blacksmith through the walls before observing the wonders of this book world. I've already met Groselle, Mobet, and Syadas, and while I was casually chatting with the others, I heard of a devout priest, Snowman, and the philosopher, Frunzier. But there isn't an Anderson Hood, Edwina, Danitz, or Gehrman. Therefore, only the dead will possess brand new characters in the book. Maybe. Or could it be that those who have extended stays in this, fully expressing themselves as an adventure in their day-to-day lives, would be able to have their subconscious replicated? That's what I would have thought. As Klein strolled by the side of the street, which was illuminated by the setting sun, he considered something that he found crucial. If it were the former theory where the dead would revive and become new characters, then there was nothing Klein needed to worry about. However, if it was the latter, he had to consider reducing the frequency at which he explored the book, as well as strictly controlling the amount of time he spent here. There's no way to ascertain it for now. I'll deal with this situation by assuming it's the latter. There's definitely nothing wrong with being cautious. Klein quickly made up his mind and was about to return above the grey fog, when he saw a familiar figure, Frunzier, with his black hair and blue eyes. Recalling how this lone soldier's ash urn was still with him, he planned on sending it to the Church of Storms cemetery in Backland. Klein walked over and started a conversation. What's on your mind? I'm wondering who I am, where I come from, how I should return. Frunzier didn't look away as he said in a dreamlike state, I ultimately feel that I don't belong here. I'm not myself at the moment, and there's some place awaiting my return. They mock me for considering such pointless questions, so they gave me the title of philosopher. Bro became a philosopher by just being genuinely soul-crushed. Like, it's like if Nietzsche was like, what is the meaning of life? And instead of him like having like a deep, profound, like a actual question where he's like, I want, like, what is the meaning of our lives? Everyone is like, he's actually just depressed and he just wants to kill himself. And everyone is like, oh my god, he's so clever. Holy shit. This guy goated. As he spoke, he looked at the setting sun and once again fell into silence. Klein didn't say a word. He sat there and accompanied Frunzier in the setting sun. Finally, he silently vanished. Frunzier didn't notice that the person beside him had already left. He sat there, motionless, like a statue. After replenishing the ship's supplies, Aldrich Wilson instructed the Blue Avenger to leave the Residence's private harbor. It wasn't going to stay too long in the Rorstad archipelago. He had to return to Passu Island to make his report at the designated time. At that moment, in the captain's cabin, he was watching in anticipation as the illusory door formed by items with spirituality and a burgeoning flame. It was a door of sacrifice and a door of bestowment. Amidst an illusory creaking sound, a mysterious door opened, revealing an infinite depth and darkness within its interior. Light shot out from within before converging immediately. After everything calmed down, 2 items had appeared on the altar at some point in time. As for the door with all kinds of strange symbols, it was gone. Aldrich was able to compose himself as he seriously thanked Mr. Fool. He finished the ritual according to the procedure before reaching out to pick out 2 items. Cuttlefish indirectly showing us Klein's loneliness. Yeah. They just mirrored Klein with another character just one step down. Yeah, of course. Like, they just... Klein went from our world to this world, and Frunzier just went from this world to this world. So it's just... Just like the cat scene? The cats? Oh, the cats. Oh, the cat scene. Yeah. Light shot out from within before converging immediately. After everything calmed down, 2 items had appeared on the altar at some point in time. As for the door with all kinds of strange symbols, it was gone. Aldrich was able to compose himself as he seriously thanked Mr. Fool. Yeah, I remember it. He finished the ritual according to the procedure before picking out 2 items. One of them was a piece of paper that was neatly folded, and the other was a translucent jellyfish that had azure blue seawater in it. Aldrich inspected the latter and discovered there was occasional vortexes formed by winds or occasional lightning streaks, and from time to time he could hear a distant moving sound. The sound sounds like a woman, or the voice sounds like a woman, and from the looks of it, this characteristic's owner was a lady. Klein couldn't help but heave a sigh of relief. This meant that I wasn't some quasi-high-ranking member of the Church of Storm. The Church of Storm didn't have any female high-ranking members, quasi or not. No, when the sexism comes in handy. That's so funny. Alder saw he was a woman. He's like, oh, it's fine. That's so fucked. Putting away the ocean songster's characteristic, Aldrich unfolded the piece of paper. He swept past the main ingredient and looked at the supplementary ingredients. Finally, he paused his eyes at the ritual. To him, the main ingredients were unimportant with the characteristic in hand. He swept past the main... he looked at it, he could look at it later. As for the supplementary ingredients, they were rather easy to find, so they didn't need much attention. It was the ritual that was of utmost importance. Drink the potion in an obenesque's belly. I assume that's like a whale. You have to get eaten by a whale to do that? It's been like 2 or 3 days, Nightwalker, but Zaza said that they were getting their internet provider changed or something. So like she said to expect that she won't be online for a bit. All the same, with all that's happening, I'm still a little worried, but since she said not to worry, I'm gonna just hold out for a few more days. Klein silently read the ritual's contents as the corresponding information surfaced in his mind. Obenesks were ancient sea monsters. They could directly devour a sailboat. It had a humongous, distorted body. It had as many as 3 heads and tentacles that entangled with each other. They were the protagonists in many legends at sea. Most of these sea monsters were tamed by the Church of Storm. They had a fixed region of activity, but it was unknown if they had near-human intelligence. It's no wonder the Church controls Obenesks and not other sea monsters. It's no wonder that so many Beyonders in the Sailor Pathway among pirates can only reach Sequence 5. Either they directly inherit it, or they're subordinates of Kings of Seas or Queen Mystic, or of King of the 5 Seas or Queen Mystic. Then where should I find Obenesks that don't belong to the Church? Alger frowned as he contemplated his advancement that bypassed the Church. His first reaction was to find Queen Mystic through Admiral of Stars Cat Leia. From her, he could find Obenesks that didn't belong to the Church. His second reaction was that it would expose himself to danger, because the corresponding Obenesks were likely servants of Queen Mystic, and they would report everything to their mistress. Maybe, but I mean, we have a sea god, he could hook you up. Oh, true, but does he know that? Oh, Alger does. I think Alger does know, yeah. Yes, this will be the last retort if there are no other options. Alger's thoughts raced as he had another idea, to pray to Mr. Fool. This reawakened existence secretly wielded the former authority of a sea god. He could commander undersea creatures, allowing him to know where to find Obenesks that don't belong to factions. There's no need to rush it. If I were to advance now, I won't be able to hide my advancement from others, because of my lack of control of spirituality dissipation. I can offer the prayer after I make my report and leave Pasu Island. Alger calmed down, memorized the Ocean Songster formula, then moved the piece of paper to the tip of the candle's flames. As he watched the flame devour the formula at an increasing speed, Alger's gaze turned deep. After finishing off the remnant traces, his gaze landed on the sea map and locked onto a location. Bansi. Alger had planned on making a trip to Bansi in passing while en route to Pasu Island. He wanted to know what the present state of the harbor was. He had already shared his thoughts with his sailors, and no one objected, because they were equally curious to why Bansi Harbor was destroyed. They were curious what it turned into. Imagine bro forgets the formula. They can just pray to the Fool to remember it, right? So it's not a big deal, but it would be funny. 721. Alright, 4 more chapters, eh? Wait, I'm curious. Where did Easy leave it today? Because you said he's not streaming tomorrow, right? So where did he leave it? How much is he planning on reading Sunday? $7:13. He doesn't plan on reading. Does he plan on reading 20 chapters on Sunday if he wants to finish Volume 3 then? That'd be a long fucking stream. I mean, he's done similar, so I'm not saying he can't. On the future, Frank Lee rolled up his sleeves and began flicking his fountain pen while writing, "My dear friend, Kierman Sparrow, I have good news for you. I have successfully cultivated a new breed of mushrooms by using the flesh and blood of a rose bishop. Oh God. Oh God. As long as there's fish, it will keep growing. It will no longer have to worry about not being able to eat mushrooms due to long voyages. Furthermore, it has been crossbred with beef, making it taste excellent. Jesus Christ. Bro, someone needs to take Frank and just lock him up in a prison. Not because he's done anything wrong, but brother, someone needs to just put an end to his shenanigans. Its only flaw is that there's no way to make it catch fish by itself. External help is needed, but I don't think that's too big a problem. After all, based on what Nina said, it wouldn't corrupt the ocean. Well, let's just assume she's right. Call the Seventh. Actually, dude, just do something about this man. No prison wants Frank Lee. They're like, we can't hold him. Hand him to the Mother Earth Goddess. I've mailed you some dried mushrooms. As long as you give it water and fish, they will immediately become normal and reproduce by themselves. I hope you like my gift. After going on and on, Frank folded the letter and placed it in an envelope. He stuffed 3 dried mushrooms into it before applying glue and sealing it. After doing all of this, he took out the note Klein had given him, followed the description, and began to seriously prepare the rituals needed to summon the messenger. This wasn't complicated for Klein, so it didn't take him long to set up the altar and create a wall of spirituality. Sorry, I thought someone was coming. Finally, he solemnly placed a gold coin before the candle. He lit the candle, softly chanted the incantation, and stared at the flame. He watched it burgeon as a headless woman walked out. Frank first jumped in fright before staring at Reinette Heinker's 4 beautiful blonde red-eyed heads that looked identical with patience. Wait, now that I think about it, red-eyed means either sanguine or they have sanguine ancestry. Why does Reinette Heinker have red eyes? Interesting. As he muttered, "How was it done? How are they completely identical? If planted in soil, they would be more grown." The 4 eyes of the heads held by Reinette turned in different directions before uniformly falling on Frank Lee's face. Suddenly, the soil stored inside all kinds of vessels within the room flew out and piled before Frank. Following that, Frank floated up as he tumbled in midair with a shocked expression. He was thrown straight into a pile of soil, head first. His legs kept struggling as they dangled outside, but he was unable to pull himself out of the soil anytime soon. Only then did the 2 of Reinette Heinker's 4 heads finally reach out, separately biting down on the letter and the gold coin. Only after she disappeared did Frank Lee find the best spot to exert his strength to escape the soil. She was like, "Bitch, what did you just say to me? You're planted now, planter looking ass." She's powerful. Frank first sighed with a sense of lingering fear. Following that, he wiped the soil beside his mouth, bit into it, and chewed on it carefully before muttering to himself, "It's a bit sour." At that moment, Cattleya, who had just finished the sacrifice in her cabin, sensed something. Her dark purple eyes subconsciously looked towards Frank's room, and she vaguely saw a crudely made illusory doll, but the doll didn't have a head. The scene flashed as Cattleya closed her eyes immediately. She felt her eyes were burning as she couldn't help but have her tears flow out. She knitted her eyebrows and muttered in disbelief, "Ancient Bane?" Who the fuck is Ancient Bane? I'll add this to Do I just add this to Laura General, I guess, Romero? What the fuck would I add this to? Bane? Do I... Who is Ancient Bane? There's no one that I know by the name of Bane. Add this to Messenger section. Add it to Klein lore under Messenger. Oh, sure. Is there a Messenger section? And no, I'll make a Messenger section, I guess. After sending the meteorite crystal and the black hunting giant lizard spinal fluid to Miss Magician and Miss Justice, Klein returned to the real world. He laid down on a chair as he allowed his body to rock gently. This is what Romero was doing until he this is what Romero was doing until his fucking chair broke. He began considering where he would head to next. With news of Gearman's sighting and crazy Captain Connor's matter, it's unlikely that the pirates will openly appear in Bayam for a time. They've either left the harbors or are hiding themselves, making it difficult for others to find them. That is to say, there's no need for me to stay here. The matters regarding the resistance can be directed by responding to them through Sea God or going through Danitz. I know, Nightwalk, I know. Romero saw that he wanted to tell me. He's like, I can't even have him seeing that. And I was like, bro. I'll head to the seaweed bar later. I'll get a fake identity, buy a scalp ticket, and head for Desi Bay's Content City. Or Conant City. That's not only the biggest harbor around here, but it also is Davy Raymond's hometown. I previously agreed to this Red Glove's request when I released him from creeping hunger, that I would pay this beautiful Bay City a visit and tell his daughter that revenge has been exacted. Yes, I'll also think of a way to return the Nightmare Beyonder characteristic to the church. How hypocritical can I be? I'm planning on returning a Nightmare characteristic while also planning to steal a sealed artifact from St. Samuel's Chanis Gate. After shaking his head, Klein closed his eyes and slept to recover his spirituality. After an unknown period of time, he saw Raynette Tyneker walk out of the void. Who mailed it? Klein received the letter as he nodded in appreciation. Thank you. He was very courteous with this powerful messenger with a mysterious background. He didn't want to be strangled to death one day. Do you want to immediately reply? Tyneker's forehead spoke one after another. Klein tore open the envelope and quickly took out the letter and read it. The contents alarmed him as he nearly forgot to reply. As for Raynette, she wasn't quick-tempered. She silently waited by the side. One day, Frank Lee will destroy the world. Demigods may or may not be planetary level, but Frank Lee certainly is. He definitely needs to be controlled. I can't give him a chance to advance. Seriously, how much does this fellow love to crossbreed and create all sorts of strange things? The City of Silver is in need of food. A thought flashed through Klein's mind as he had a bold idea. It was to direct Frank's research efforts towards all kinds of food that suited the City of Silver. This way, cows, fish, mushrooms, rose bishops, the sea, and the world would be safe. Klein hurriedly looked up at the messenger and said, "Yes, I'll immediately reply." He started writing. I have a question. If you eat this mushroom breed you create and then eat cooked fish and drink a cup of water, will it continue to reproduce? Klein then proceeded to the main point. Is it possible for you to create wheat that can grow without sunlight, or cows that can produce milk and meat simply by consuming monsters? That seems interesting. Can you see how much potential planterways have, even while being lower than demigod pathway? Actually, dude, planter pathway is like the most destructive a planter, but it's like in the way that like you could create the fucking virus from Last of Us. You know the kind of, the fungus that like feeds on human brains or whatever. Like a planter could just make that, and you're just like, fuck, everyone's dead. He continued on this topic and wrote a few paragraphs before folding the letter. He then handed it to Reinette Teinker and said in a natural way, the postage will be paid by Frank. Dude, Frank has got to feel so ticked. He's like, bro, I send a letter, I gotta pay. I receive a letter, I gotta pay. This is fucked. Klein is such a cheap bastard. He has 5 or 6 gold coin, but he won't use them. Let's hope he isn't dead. After the 4 heads said those words, a representative bit on the envelope. Let's hope he isn't dead. Klein jumped in fright. Just as he was about to clarify the matter, Reinette had already entered the spirit world and disappeared. After contemplating the matter for 2 seconds, Klein wrote a divination statement to confirm that Frank Lee was still alive. He heaved a sigh of relief, packed up the dried mushrooms, and rubbed his temples before laying back down. Rose Bishop lives matter. Romero, it's kind of interesting. Rose Bishop lives matter, maybe, but then that's like how tolerant would you be of like a cannibal? Because would you be like, hey, like, like a cannibal's lives matter, but it's like, bro, if he had his choice, he would just kill you and eat you. So like, how much does his life really matter, After dinner at the seaweed bar, Klein wore an ordinary-looking face and came here once again. Unlike before, the customers in the bar were mainly mixed bloods or natives who had darker skin and curly black hair. They were either parts of the gangs in Bayam, or they were secretly working for the resistance, or both. They weren't even there weren't many ordinary people. The commonly seen pirates who came from different countries were all gone. Only a few people dressed as adventurers were drinking. Klein swept the bar and found Danielle, who Danitz had mentioned, the thin local who could provide him fake identification documents and scalp tickets. Without any apprehension, he went over. A second-class ticket to Conant tomorrow, and identification documents. Danielle looked up at him and said, £20. Just a second-class ticket to Conant costs around £9, but scalp tickets are even more expensive to begin with. £20 isn't a ridiculous amount. Klein said, when can I get it? 45 minutes, Danielle replied like clockwork. You can pay £5 first, then the rest after receiving the items. All right. Klein didn't harp on the issue as he took out his wallet and paid 5 £1 notes. It's so interesting how Klein, despite the fact that he has so much money now, is like, and money really isn't even a concern for him anymore. Klein can make like 5, 6, 7,000 pounds in a night. Like, it's no concern. Even now, the cheap bastard will not get a first class ticket. He's like, second class is fine. We'll go with second class. Bro, pay the extra £10. Get a first class. Bro, why are you like this? I don't know why. Nothing irritates me more than like a rich person who's stingy. I don't know. That just irritates the fuck out of me. When people are like, oh, Mark Zuckerberg just drives like a 2008 car. I don't even know if this is true, by the way, but like Mark Zuckerberg drives like a 2008 car. Why? What are you trying to prove? It's not like if Mark Zuckerberg spent 200 grand on a car, he would be like, fuck, like now I just can't invest money into Facebook anymore. Like, get the fuck out of here. What are you trying to prove? Like, you're such a sanctimonious prick. Like, that actually irritates me. Now, if someone is worth like $1 million and they drive like a normal car, no problem. Like, okay, $1 million is like a lot of money, but like it's not so much money that you can be spending like tons of money on cars and stuff. I totally get it. But like when people are like obscenely rich and they're like, oh, I actually only drive a 2007 Honda Civic that I got for $4,500. Get the fuck out of here. Why are you like, you're so annoying. 20 pounds is like 250, 350. Yeah, probably. Romero, small expenses add up. He made $6,000 in a night. Like a week ago. You're telling me 5 pounds would kill him? Really? Ugh. He wasn't worried that anyone would target his wallet, for it might mean that he would save 20 pounds or might even get more. Moments after Danielle checked the authenticity of the notes and was about to inform his subordinates to get working, he suddenly realized the bar was silent. Klein also sensed that he was, as he subconsciously looked to the door. There were two people there. One was wearing a formal tailcoat and a black trench coat with brown hair and that was neatly combed back. The other person wore a hooded robe, which was rather rare. His face was hidden in the shadows, making him impossible to identify. The sloppy gentleman scanned the area and was rather pleasant with the crowd's reaction. A silver coin was tumbling in and out of his fingers as he walked towards Danielle. The hooded person walked behind him, took out something from his clothes and stuffed it into his mouth, producing a crunching sound. The silver coin stopped moving when the sloppy gentleman stopped in front of Danielle and said with a chuckle, "Prepare 10 tickets to Prince Harbor tomorrow for me. They need to be split between 3 ships." Nagato, alright, you have a good night, buddy. Or good rest of your day? Yes, Mr. Oder. Danielle stood up in a panic. Klein momentarily failed to recall who the gentleman was, tumbling over the silver coin in his hand. Only then did he realize the name Oder sounded familiar. As he was recalling, the man in his hood took out a coffee-colored sweet before popping it in his mouth. After obtaining an affirmative reply, Oder and his men didn't stay any longer. They walked to the staircase in the quiet atmosphere and headed for the 2nd floor. Daniel exhaled and turned his head to Klein, who was looking puzzled, and said, "Oder, the adventurer, Oder, who serves Dawn." It's 6 a.m.? Oh, Jesus Christ, why are you up? I remember Silver Coin Viper Oder. He's always claimed that he works for Queen Mystic, but no one could prove it. I can ask Ma'am Hermit later. The last I heard of him was he was at Demir Harbor. He was apparently mixing with the Admiral of Blood's intelligence officers, Old Quinn. However, the latter has already been killed by the Hanged Man. What about the other one? Klein asked. Who knows? I woke up at 4? Why did you wake up at 4? It's Sunday, Nagato. Sleep in. Oh, for prayer. For prayer. Yes? Ah, okay. An unpeaceful night. Ooh, are we gonna get a fight here? Should I get fight music ready? Alright. 3 more chapters. Time to lock in, okay? 1 more hour. Wait, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 chapters. I started at 9. So I've done 5 chapters in less than 2 hours. Okay, we're actually ahead of schedule. Cool. Not telling you. Alright. As Silvercoin Viper, Odo wasn't a pirate. There were all kinds of rumors about him, most of which could hardly be verified. Klein walked to the bar counter and found a seat and said, "A cup of Zahar." 3 pence, the bartender replied. The crowd in the bar began to break out in whispers as they were illuminated by the gas wall lamps. All of them were discussing the reason for the Silver Coin Viper Odor's purchase of 10 tickets. He's definitely being pursued by someone. 10 tickets among 3 ships? It's to prevent his pursuers from knowing when he's boarding. An adventurer drinking a Lanty-proof scoffed. You don't understand, Odor. If his plan was that simple, they wouldn't give him the title Silver Coin Viper. I dare bet that he won't be on any of those ships. The only thing I can confirm is they're heading to Pritz Harbor. Perhaps the news of him heading to Pritz Harbor is fake too, another adventurer said. The gang member from before was taken aback when he heard, refusing to be one-upped, and said, according to your description, Odor has likely thought of what you figured out, and is precisely why he's heading to Pritz Harbor tomorrow. The second adventurer was about to retort him, but he decided there was quite a non-zero chance of that happening after some careful thought, and none of them said a word. This made the gang member extremely happy as he downed the last of his liquor. This is like, I outsmarted you. Well, I outsmarted you, outsmarting. And you just keep doing that forever. Klein was holding a cup of Zahar as he sipped it, listening to the conversation. He was waiting for the fake identification documents. There's another 45 minutes. I just hope nothing happens. Don't make the bar into a mess, he silently prayed. The light yellow beer slowly dropped in volume as Klein would look at the wall clock from time to time, hoping that time would walk faster. Half an hour later, a loop, yes. The door to the bar opened with a loud thud. No way. The corners of Klein's mouth twitched as he held back his urge to smile. Standing by the door were 5 people. Their leader had black eyes and brown hair with recessed facial features. His expression was cold and exuded an air of dominance. And the 3 men and women behind him were in trench coats. They didn't hide the fact that they were holding revolvers. I don't know them, and they aren't on any wanted list or bounties, Klein mumbled to himself. Where is the Silver Coin Viper Odor? They yelled. They went to the 2nd floor. The customers who had been asked pointed. Someone is pursuing Odor. This is an act going against Queen Mystic. Or has Silver Coin Viper done something himself? Or could it be because of the mysterious hooded man beside him eating sweets? Tell me honestly, where is Odor heading with those tickets? He didn't make it clear, Danielle said. He requested for 10 tickets to be distributed across 3 ships. The departure is for tomorrow, going to Pritz Harbor. For real? The questioner was a seemingly radical man in his 20s. You can ask anyone here. All of them heard it, Danielle replied. Dog shit. The man shoved Danielle angrily. Dog shit? Is this fucking... Is this Danitz? What the fuck? Danielle staggered backwards as he was about to fall and hit his head onto the side of the circular table when he suddenly felt an additional force on his shoulder. He subconsciously looked over and saw that it was a customer who had just requested to purchase a fake identity and scalp tickets. Thank you, those bunch of military hyenas. Danielle first thanked him before softly saying through his clenched teeth. The person who helped him was Klein. He didn't wish for anything to happen to this ticket scalper. After all, he had already paid £5. I love how Klein is like, I mean, he can die. I don't really care. After giving me the documents, I already paid him £5. But, like, he can die. I don't really give a fuck about him. Of course, helping the innocent was also a habit of his. Since when? No, I'm just kidding. Military hyenas. In Bayam, this description refers to MI9. What did the silver coin do? Klein silently asked himself to eliminate the possibility someone was targeting Queen Mystic. To the lone military, it was meaningless. As he was thinking, the MI9 members who headed upstairs rushed down as they yelled, "He long fled through the window." The group of people came in and left in a rush. Soon, the bar resumed its normal dim. The blood chickens! What is happening? Who is this Silver Coin Viper? Why do we give a fuck about him? We're getting so close to the ending of Volume 3, but like... Volume 3 didn't answer any of the big questions that were asked. You know, like Volume 1 asked like a big question about Lanavis, and then like Volume 2 solved it. Volume 2 asked like a bunch of big questions about the royal family, the demoness sect, Nast, like so much stuff, ints, and like so much shit, but like nothing. I don't have any answers. I don't even know if I'm heading towards the direction of answers, or I'm heading towards more fucked shit before we head to answers. Klein's wait for his fake identity documents and scalp tickets paid off. He didn't need to worry about any interruptions. After paying the remaining £15, he left the bar and returned to the inn. John Yode. This name is way too simple. Before I return to Backland, I need to make a more realistic document. Klein flipped through the series of identification documents before throwing them inside his suitcase. Is it looking anticlimactic to you? So far, Nightwalker. Okay, I'm gonna say that, and then just clip that for when Volume 3 has some really cool shit at the end, okay? Yeah, so far I think Volume 3 ending is gonna be anticlimactic. There you go, give you guys the clickbait, go on. He took a bath and relaxed, prepared to leave Bayam tomorrow, beginning the last stage of his sea travels. At that moment, he heard a knock on the door. Who is it? Klein took off his bathrobe, wore his pants, and walked to the door. Outside were a few policemen. What's the matter? Klein asked. Please show us some identification, a gentleman asked. Thankfully, I just made one, otherwise I'd be spending the night in a police station, or I'd have to run on the spot. The police officer flipped through it as he said, Mr. Yode, are you living alone? Yes, everyone in the inn can vouch for me, Klein replied. Have you seen this person before? As he spoke, a constable unfolded a portrait. On it was an elder who was abnormally thin with messy white hair. Apart from that, nothing stood out. No. Klein shook his head. He likes to eat sweets. The guy beside the odor. Who the fuck is this guy? Sweets. Klein recalled a mysterious hooded man behind the silver coin viper. Klein said without hiding anything, Perhaps, back when I was in the seaweed bar, I saw a man who loved eating sweets and was following the silver coin viper odor. The Lowanese officer didn't hide his disappointment. After a simple word of thanks, he ended questioning. Only after he knocked on the other guest's door did Klein close the door and return to his chair. Odor's matter has not only attracted MI9, but also gotten regular police to do a wide city search. This is something. Klein decided to head above the grey fog and browse through the prayers, as if he could gain any more information from the prayers of the believers in Bayam. He didn't wish to end up embroiled in a massive maelstrom for giving the wrong response. After entering the bathroom, he went above the grey fog, where he summoned the bone scepter out of the junk pile. As he browsed through each point of light, he determined that the questioning wasn't on a small scale. The target was Odor and the mysterious man, but he couldn't figure something out. After some thought, he cast his gaze on the point of light that was specially marked out by his godhood. It belonged to a mixed-blooded policeman named Bolaya. He claimed to have swallowed humiliation by changing his faith to the Lord of Storm for the sea god to climb up the police ranks. He was already a superintendent. Clever man. Good. Bulaya, who was in the police station assigning work to his subordinates, broke out in a cold sweat and found an excuse to run to the washroom. Blessed of the sea and the spirit world, great Kalvatua, your pious believer has something to report to you. Who says the fool only has one believer? He's got so many. They just call him by a different name, you know? The person we are especially searching for tonight is a very thin elder. His hair is completely white, but he has luxuriant hair. It's very messy. He is very afraid of the cold, and he wears thick clothing, even in Bayam. Do you have a Beyonder thing that makes you cold? Do we have anything that makes you cold? I don't know. Didn't we meet Bernadette in Volume 3? I don't count the house stuff. Oh, yeah, I guess we did. He loves to eat sweets as though he's a steam engine and the sweets are his coal. Just say he loves to eat sweets. Why do that? The higher-ups have informed us to find him, but not harm him. Klein ignored Bulaya and reined back his thoughts as he tapped the side of the long table. Compared to the portrait, such a description gives me a sense of familiarity. I've heard it before. To a seer, déjà vu meant a clue, hence Klein wrote a divination statement and began questioning his spirituality. He chanted his divination statement and leaned back in the chair and fell asleep. Klein found himself in Backland, in 15 Minsk Street. Okay. Romero, do you remember this? We were going through my notes and I said Turani von Helmusin. I feel like this name is going to be important. Almost on cue. My spiritual intuition is truly extraordinary. In front of him was the red-eyed Ian. The teenage boy looked up and said Turani von Helmusin, the greatest scientist since Roselle, a mathematician, a mechanist, and a father of the second-generation engine. Klein woke up and knew who MI9 was looking for. They were looking for the greatest scientist who caused many deaths between the lone military and the INTA spy organization solely because of a third-generation difference engine. They were finding the science freak who had mysteriously disappeared for years. It's no wonder the Admiral of Blood's intelligence officer, Old Quinn, had a modified radio transceiver that surpassed those in Backland. I was acting like I knew nothing, dude. Such good... Oh my god. My spiritual intuition is truly extraordinary. And if he's like the greatest adventurer since Roselle, he's like not a high sequencer because I feel like that'd be too strong, but maybe he's like sequence 5 of the Savant pathway. I feel like that would make sense. This was what the first part of Volume 2 was about. Ian worked for this guy? Ian worked for a detective who worked for this guy? I don't remember what I know Klein saw Ian on a train, then Ian gave him a mission, Klein found a guy who was like dead in the sewers or whatever, but I can't remember. Who was that guy? Was that guy like a detective who was working for Torani or whatever? Who was that guy? 7:23. After a moment of his mind going adrift, Klein... Nah, it was about a spy trying to get this... Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Okay. After a moment of his mind going adrift, Klein rubbed his temples and composed himself. He wasn't motivated to participate in this matter. He was apathetic to whether the lone military would find Torani, because he lacked a sense of belonging to the lone kingdom. How? What he had done in the past was solely to ensure a stable society and that its citizens wouldn't suffer. If possible, he didn't mind instigating a revolution to allow the poor to lead better lives. That's not very Chinese of you, Cuttlefish. My god. I'm surprised that CCP let you write shit like this, bro. Jesus. I never expected myself to become more of an internationalist after coming to this world. He gave a self-deprecating laugh. He then went to bed in the real world. At this moment, his attention was caught by the biggest item in the junk pile through the corner of his eye. He was preparing to go to sleep in the real world. The radio transceiver. Speaking of which, what is the faction controlling Turani von Helmusin? It's nothing much if the people from Queen Mystic's side. She's a strong believer of do as you wish but do no harm, so she wouldn't do anything overboard. Everything is connected, actually. It wouldn't be good if the Rose School of Thought, represented by Admiral of Blood, ignoring the Temperance faction that's being suppressed, as well as the believers of the Chain God or Mother Tree of Desire, their level of vileness can't be lower than the Aurora Order. Ramiro, how do you feel about that? Letting them grasp the most advanced technology available might bring about disaster. He soon had an idea, which was to bring the radio transceiver back to the real world, adjust it to the correct frequency to see if he could receive the telegrams from Admiral of Blood's crew. Then he could decipher the communication. There'd be a huge sweep of the city tonight. The matter must be rather important and intricate. If the ones controlling Turani are them, there's a possibility of the appearance of crucial telegrams. In a situation in which the Governor General Office, the lone military, and the Church of Storm haven't placed importance or even accepted this technology, this is the best method. Therefore, there's a non-zero chance that they wouldn't change the frequency after old Quinn died. Let's give it a try. After bringing it to the real world, he didn't use it immediately, and instead used a spiritual dagger to create a wall of spirituality. This was to air out the grey fog smell. To him, there was no need to go through so much trouble to confirm the faction that controlled Turani. He could have used Eridus to receive the answer, but the problem was that he had posed questions recently, and that the smell that frequently might appear might incur the notice of evil gods. Therefore, Klein decided to play it safe. After about 8 minutes of airing, he dispelled the wall of spirituality and controlled the radio transceiver. He began receiving a transmission. Klein held back the joy as he made notes. He flipped through the code book, which he replicated using divination, and he began the necessary deciphering process. 32 Black Pepper Avenue, 7 a.m. tomorrow. Ooh. Can Klein get a maybe even a high sequence, or if not the high sequence, then like a really good savant on his side? Ooh, now we're talking. Dude, get Turani to become a believer in the Fool. Now he can just make us cool shit all the time. We don't even need the Grey Fog to do our communications anymore. We can just do it over the phone. By the way, there's a small cliffhanger on 724. That's fine. You guys know I don't mind cliffhangers. Yeah, I'll stop there. That's fine. I don't mind. Besides, it's not like I'm going to leave you guys hanging for a long time. It'll be like a day and a half. You'll be fine. Indeed, the people controlling Turani are Admiral of Blood. There might be a powerhouse of the Rose School of Thought involved. This wasn't confirmed based on the contents of the telegram, but a simple inference from the existence of the telegram itself. If the Admiral of Blood and company were uninvolved, it was unlikely for them to send and receive telegrams regarding Bayam streets. The meaning of the telegram is to gather by 32 Black Pepper Street tomorrow at 7 a.m. Does that mean Turani and Silver Coin will be there? Or are hiding there, and they're reporting to the Admiral of Blood of their location and giving a time? Klein wrote a divination statement. Turani von Helmusin's present location. He leaned back in his chair and entered a dream. He saw an underground hall with countless gas lamps. Inside the hall was a massive, complicated machine, constructed from copper cylinders, operating levers, take-up levers, countless gears, and taking up nearly 2/3 of space. Inside was an elder man. No, it shouldn't be called the difference engine. It's an adorable fellow who can analyze questions and calculate the answers based on a set of procedures. Yes, it should be called a calculator. The elder kept muttering to himself. Klein's vision was then pulled upwards, arriving above the building. It was a 3-story villa. Outside it read 32 Black Pepper Avenue. He really is there. Klein was stumped. What to do? A scientist like him is useless to me. Instead, it's the root of many problems. I can't just keep him above the great fog. Therefore, there's no need for me to personally get involved. Hand over the news to the military? This will effectively prevent the Rose School of Thought from obtaining any benefits. But if there's a faction in the military that's likely related To the true culprit behind the great smog of Backland, it's not a great thing to have Turani fall into their hands. And the Church of Storm is well known for being rash. A conflict might end up with the scientist meeting the deity he believes in. Klein then had a bold idea to make the news public. He would make the existence and location of Turani's known to Lone Kingdom's military and church. This could effectively ensure the scientist's capabilities would be employed by the Lone Kingdom itself and not by a single faction. The key is balance. Klein muttered. He then beckoned his hand for the sea god's scepter. For the former him, he had to carefully distribute flyers across the city to make matters known, but now he had a simpler method. Klein wielded the control of wind, selecting a believer who happened to be preying on him, that pulled back his view spanning 5 kilometers. Once the wind calmed down, Klein's will sank into the scene as he changed his voice. Helmosine is at 32 Black Pepper Avenue. In Bayam, the howl of wind turned intense as it swept in every direction. Helmosine is at 32 Black Pepper Avenue. The voice spread across Bayam like a broadcast to the entire city. Silvercoin Odo was donning a cloak, pretending to be Helmosine. He hid himself in a crowded building, occasionally appearing to mislead MI9 and the Governor General's police officers. Suddenly a gale swept past as a voice sounded in his ears. Helmosine is in 32 Black Pepper Street. What? Oder fell into a dazed shock. Without noticing it, he fell from the top of the roof and nearly injured himself. Klein just doxed this guy. True. Klein just doxed a Nobel Prize winner. What an asshole. Imagine like a scientist is like returning home after winning like the Nobel Prize in like physics or whatever, and then a guy gets on Twitter and he's like, oh my god, his address is 32 Black Pepper Avenue. And the guy's like, bro, what the fuck? Behind the Cathedral of Waves, a small number of nearby buildings of the Governor General offices, Jan Kopman and Robert Davis heard the voice in the wind. The first reaction was to look up at the sky before casting their eyes towards the borough where Black Pepper Avenue was. After the broadcast, and being in good mood, Klein threw the Sea God Scepter back into the junk pile and returned to the real world. Imagine minding your business and then an Eerie snitches you to a whole island. Like you're just sitting there, you're like, la di da di da. We're making a calculator. This is gonna in time make the world so much better. Oh my god. There's this fucking nerd at 32 Black Pepper Avenue. Go beat his ass. Like, what the fuck did I do? He wasn't in a rush to bring the radio transceiver above the grey fog. Instead, he left it there to monitor transmissions. This way, even if there are powerhouses from the Rose School of Thought in Bayam, they wouldn't dare appear. Regardless of who takes actions, they'll have no choice but to hand it over to the country. Unfortunately, I don't have the habit of writing a diary like the Emperor, otherwise I could write something like this. I did another good deed today. Klein sighed, took off his coat, and got into bed and slept. Dude, can you imagine? This is a good point. Imagine how lucky it is for Klein that Roselle was a fucking loser who kept a diary. Klein would have been so much more fucked if he didn't have this. After sleeping for an unknown period of time, he woke up. There was a knock at the door. Who could it be? I'm John Yode. In the middle of the night? Klein wore creeping hunger and took out Death Knell from under his pillow. What? Sorry, I read ahead. What the fuck? The visitor's looks quickly surfaced in his mind. Turani von Helmosine. Holy fuck! Why is he looking for me? I'm just the ordinary John Yode. How did he escape the tracking of a demigod? Klein's first reaction was to tell the man he got the wrong person, but he held back and asked, "Who are you looking for?" What the fuck? Oh, thank God I stopped myself. I was about to play my regular songs, and that would have gotten me fucking demonetized. But we saved it, boys. And girls, if Queen is still here, I don't know. It might just be boys at this point. Halmusin smiled. I noticed you at the seaweed bar, but I didn't have a chance to talk to you. My life is at its end, so I recalled many things. Please, allow me to introduce myself. You can call me Orange Light Hilarion. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Yeah, Bozai, we got like one more chapter left, but I appreciate that. What the fuck just happened here? The greatest the greatest scientist since Roselle was actually a fucking light from the spirit world? Yeah, Ramiro, I remember that. What? Bye, Luvian. See you, buddy. Orange Light Hilarion? Klein was taken aback before he asked in puzzlement, Is there something? I'm here to warn you. Be careful of the Mother Tree of Desire. Alright, I need to leave. And I'm about to die before returning to the spirit world. Do you have any enemies here? Why do you ask? Klein asked. I can silently die at their doorstep. That way you can have your revenge. What the fuck? I remember. I'm flabbergasted. I'm shook. I am hoodwinked. I am quite possibly, dare I say, at a loss. Yes, it is too much tomfoolery, truly. Upon hearing Halmusin's reply, Klein couldn't help but twitch the corner of his mouth. My enemies aren't in Bayam. Even if you were to die at the Sea King's doorstep, it wouldn't be of much use. Instead, he said, Halmusin, no, Mr. Hilarion, how did you notice me? This was also the puzzlement he had towards Eridas and Reinette Tyneker. There are some tiny, unique traits about you. In high-level creatures of the spirit world, it's no secret. It's noticeable as long as they make contact with you in close proximity. After all, the grey fog that represents the great ruler of the spirit world is above our heads. Deities with certain unique authorities or beyonders who represent fate can also discover this point to a degree. Of course, the premise is that close contact can be made. What? Hold on. There are unique traits about you. It's no secret. We can notice it. The gray fog that represents the great ruler of the spirit world. Do we know who's the ruler of the spirit world? Ruler. You remember seeing gray fog when gifting Klein misfortune? I don't, Nightwalker. Was that when Isaac and Klein saw in that hidden place? I don't remember that. Oh, okay. Gray fog, although Orange Light's explanation and Eridus' compliments are nearly identical, he's the first person I've met that's directly pointed out the gray fog to me. Therefore, the mysterious space is the divine kingdom above the spirit world left behind by the great ruler. I would assume, in essence, the great ruler is one and the same as the omniscient, omnipotent God. I would assume, in essence, they're the same. Now, what the fuck is the omniscient, omnipotent God? Couldn't fucking tell you. But in essence, I feel like they're the same. Therefore, the mysterious space, which sequence 0 pathway is this? The deities who can discover that I'm augmented by the gray fog include the Mother Tree of Desire, so she was able to target me. Klein's thoughts bubbled like boiling water as all sorts of questions popped in his head. Helmusin continued. In Yellow Light's prophecy, the great ruler above the spirit world is one of the many variables of the apocalypse. However, I cannot be sure that you are equivalent to him. There are too many possibilities for you that allow that unique trait. For example, you are his blessed, his child, his chosen oracle, but none stop me from expressing my friendship. You know about Backland Stock Exchange, right? You're like a railway company that just got listed. You seem to have a bright future ahead. Some people will naturally think of you well and purchase a certain amount of shares, but there will be no lack of people who are greedy. They wish to use other means to seize this company or obtain the controlling rights. I'm part of the former, while the Mother Tree of Desire and even more powerful spirit world creatures are part of the latter. So Raynette Tyneker also seems to be part of the former. She sees that, like, okay, he might become something really cool in the future, so let's just put in my bets with him right now, basically. See what this guy said when Monster Pathway sees Klein. Yeah, those inclined to fate can also see it. Yeah, I caught that part. Is that so? If it wasn't because the transmigration, Emperor Roselle, who existed before me, had some kind of interaction with the gray fog. And if I hadn't divined my origins in that mysterious space and received clear signs of Earth, allowing me to recall even more of my memories, I would have suspected that I was a reincarnation of the great ruler above the spirit world. This is what I assume Queen's theory is to a degree. Like Eridus, yes, true, like Eridus too. Taking everything into account from my experience, Emperor Roselle and I are more like chosen oracles. But Roselle seems to be more like a failed oracle, like he didn't quite reach whatever he was supposed to. The great ruler above the grey fog is equivalent to the celestial worthy of heaven and earth's for blessing. Klein couldn't help but generate all kinds of conjecture as his mind was a mess, like a cat playing with a ball of yarn. Ooh, actually, let's do a quick divination if you guys are up for it. Let's do a quick divination on if the ruler of the spirit world and the omniscient, omnipotent God are one and the same. We haven't done a divination in a while. Just do a couple things to get a little bit of money. Oh wow, that did. I stole from McDonald's? Jeez, good shit. It's too high level, will it fail? Nah, I'd win. No, I'm gonna fucking lose so quick. The ruler above, what's the exact term? Sorry, ruler of the spirit world? What's the exact word? A great ruler above the spirit world. Okay. The great ruler above the spirit world and the omniscient, omnipotent God are one and the same. They're one and the same. The omniscient, omnipotent God was killed previously and is currently attempting to be resurrected. Hear me out. Maybe. Sorry, now that I'm here, let me just gamble a little bit. Hold on. Fuck. I lost everything. I have nothing and no one. Please join my membership. I don't have any more money. I lost it all in a blackjack hand. It's really Gojo over. Please consider. Okay. He calmed his emotions and said, "Is there any way to hide this unique trait? Become a demigod." Do you mind if I die at your doorstep? Yes. Klein didn't wish to draw the attention of Sea King Jan Kopman and other demigods. Then I'll have to leave immediately, or else there wouldn't be time. After you become a demigod and have the powers to probe deep into the spirit world, we might have a chance of meeting again. Thank you for your warning, Mr. Hilarion. Become a demigod so easy? I know. I mean, he's so fucking smart, wasn't he? Why doesn't he just tell him what the recipe for his Bizarro Sorcerer is? You're so fucking smart, bro. Tell me this. Tell me the thing. It's not that hard. You know what I mean? Helmusin didn't reply as he lumbered down the stairs. As he listened to the footsteps down the stairs, Klein focused and had a certain theory about why Emperor Roselle had failed to enter despite discovering the existence of the Grey Fog. He restored that silver plate that resulted in his transmigration far after he became a Beyonder. As for me, I was already an ordinary person when I attempted the luck enhancement ritual again. So Emperor Roselle chose the savant pathway while I took the seer. The mysterious space above the Grey Fog clearly provides great aid in divination. Are we cooking? What do you mean recipe? You know what I mean. The ingredients for this Bizarro Sorcerer, bro. You are kind of cooking the potion. This is kind of what you're doing, no? Therefore, the prerequisites for entering the Grey Fog is to be an ordinary person or a Beyonder of the Seer pathway, as well as knowing corresponding incantations, rituals, and symbols. The Emperor's experiments were too late, and he had chosen the wrong pathway, so he had no means of entering it. Could that be? That sounds silly, though. Why would... Bullseye. On the most fundamental level, you're putting shit together, stirring it, making sure it's the right way, and then drinking it. Simplify it for me. What are you doing? You're cooking. Then would the Seer, Apprentice, and Marauder pathway are considered neighboring neighbors? Perhaps the former two would also work. Could this be the deeper reason why the Emperor made the poignant point in his diary that he should have chosen one of these three pathways? Apart from not having a sequence 0 for these pathways, preventing any influence from the peak, it's also the key to entering the Grey Fog. As his thoughts churned, Klein placed this matter, which he couldn't obtain any confirmation of, at the back of his mind, and began considering Hilarion's warning. Sounds like a smoothie. Be careful of Mother Tree of Desire. You know, every time I keep reading Hilarion, you know what I keep imagining? Valerion from House of Dragon. Due to the incident as Admiral Amorous, Ramiro, he said 724, bro. You said the same thing. Klein was rather wary against Mother Tree of Desire. He had no choice but to change his identity and use the need for him to act so as to hide for 2 months. Subsequently, he wasn't too willing to provoke the Admiral of Blood and other members of Rose School of Thought. Towards the extreme lurking danger, a normal human's first thoughts was to resolve the matter. It was likewise the same for Klein. However, the problem was that he had no solutions. Maybe Mother Tree of Desire can sense that he's different because Klein is... because she's a super god and not just a sequence 0, she's a super god. And so she can tell from like much further away that Klein has like whatever, this gray fog around him. I thought you were taking the day off today. No, Easy. I'm taking the day off tomorrow, man. I just wanted to get into position for volume 3 ending Sunday morning. So like right now I'm finishing. This is my last chapter. Yeah, you're good. You're good. So I'm gonna end. So this is my last chapter, and then Sunday morning I already have the stream scheduled for noon Sunday morning my time. So that's probably like 8, 9 your time. I don't know, give or take. I don't know if it's 3 or 4 hours. And then it'll be like 9 chapters, so it's 9 or 10. And then volume 3 is done, baby. Let's fucking go. Good shit. By the way, seriously, I assume you're gonna read. I assume you're probably gonna read tomorrow, dude. You got some really cool fucking chapters coming up, dude. Holy shit! Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Yeah, you have a great rest of your night. We'll talk sometime next week. Maybe tomorrow for a little bit. All right, sounds good, man. All right. Sounds good, Easy. All right, I'm just gonna wait for 2 more minutes. I just don't want to spoil Easy on anything because like we have a lot of lore bullshit going on, and I don't want to spoil him on anything. And we'll get started reading again, okay? Okay, I think that's enough warning. If he's still here, this is on you, okay? This is not on me anymore. Okay. Mother Tree of Desire was suspected to be Sequence Zero true god located in the astral world. Even if Klein jumped up, there was no way he could hit her or defeat her. Yeah, why would you? Yeah, of course. And the faction, the Rose School of Thought, that she controls was an organization with quite a history. It likely had angels presiding over it, and had grade 0 sealed artifacts. I'm sleepy, but third Lord of the... What the fuck? Okay, yeah. Oh, it's the VTuber guy, right? Otherwise, it was very difficult for them to survive to this day with the churches and secret organizations at odds with it. Therefore, even if Klein had plans of getting the help of Isaac or other powerful figures, there was no way he could uproot the Rose School of Thought. It was even possible that they would encounter danger. Due to these reasons, Klein, who could only hide and hope that he could successfully advance to a demigod. I've always been careful against Mother Tree of Desire. Mr. Orange Light Hilarion didn't know that I once fell for the evil god's trap on Oravi Island. Or did he specifically come over to warn me that she would be doing something major soon? He was previously under the Admiral of Blood's control, and Admiral of Blood is a member of the Rose School of Thought. He might know something. Klein was instantly alarmed. He didn't just blindly believe that a faceless transformation was enough to fool the Mother Tree of Desire. According to Orange Light Hilarion's explanation, she would be able to discover certain unique traits when in close proximity with me. That is something the Faceless Potion can't mask. She hasn't done anything in a while. Could it be that she is attempting to use this sensation to bestow something to her believers through some ritual or item, and that she's about to succeed soon? Klein slowly frowned as he realized that it was a possibility, and this made him more eager to return to Backland. In that huge city, even angels had to behave themselves, just like a particular snake of fate. The believers of the Mother Tree of Desire and the powerhouse of the Rose School of Thought would be unable to act as they wish. All they could do was wait for an opportunity. We're heading back to Backland at the end of Volume 3, baby. Let's go. Klein exhaled and headed above the grey fog to divine if his life would be in danger soon. It was a negative answer. His life wouldn't be in danger. However, Klein didn't relax as a result. He recalled that the Mother Tree of Desire's divination interference could penetrate the grey fog shielding to a degree. I don't watch VTubers, so I don't watch all of his streams. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I find VTubers hard to watch too. But again, like everyone has different taste, so like, you know, like I don't mean to imply anything. Not starting any beef. I'm just saying, like, I have a hard time watching it, okay? And very long ago, his spirituality prevented him from divining the werewolf beyond her characteristics above the grey fog. This was because it might very well involve the Chained God, and the Chained God was suspected to be another manifestation of the Mother Tree of Desire. Only videos if there's something I really like. Yeah, like there was this a while back, Ludwig put out this video with like Code Miko, and she was like really funny on there. So like I didn't mind watching that video, but like I'm not watching her. Ludwig Code Miko, like this video. Like this was a really funny video. Like I watched this, it was hilarious. So like I loved watching that, but like I'm not watching any more of that. To me, it depends on the person, personality person, not a looks person. Fair. Either there's really nothing going on and I'm overthinking the matter, or the dangers are really close. That's why the Mother Tree of Desire took action to interfere. To be safe, I'll make some precautions. Even if it's proven to be a false alarm, it's still better than being captured by the Rose School of Thought and taken by the Mother Tree of Desire. Klein then returned to the real world, took out a pen and paper, and started writing a letter. Starting with, Dear Mr. Isaac. I got my full from you and easy time to consider things besides. That's a good point, Justin. Yes, please consider broadening your horizons. Considering how the underworld was inside the spirit world, that the demigods of the death pathway were considered high-ranking spirit world creatures in a way, and that Mr. Razek might be able to see his unique trait after he recovered his memory, Klein was rather honest. He directly wrote the entire conversation between Orange Light Hilarian's manifestation, Helmusin the scientist. The only thing he left out was the grey fog, and the parts about the great existence above the grey fog. Finally, he mentioned, "Does Mr. Hilarian's warning imply that I'll suffer mortal danger from the Rose School of Thought?" He then folded the letter and blew the copper whistle to summon the messenger. Klein still didn't find it safe, though. He then took out the adventurer harmonica and blew into it. Silently, Raynette Tyneker appeared before him. Each of the four heads with the blonde hair and red eyes rotated and said, "There's no letter." "I have something to discuss with you." Klein forced a big smile. He handed over the gold coin you received from Anderson and said, "This is the fee for summoning." "What is it?" "I might face a certain degree of danger soon. I wonder if it's possible to summon you for help." The 8 eyes on Raynette Tyneker's darted around as they said, "Yes, pay 10,000 gold coins." 10,000 gold coins? That's 10,000 pounds. I don't have that kind of money. "You can pay by installments." She's trying to make him play Klarna. She's like, buy now, pay later bullshit. Oh god, that's amazing. This reminds me of like a while back DoorDash or like Uber Eats started doing Klarna payments so that you can Uber Eats your food right now and then pay for it in installments. This is like Raynette Tyneker saying like, save your life now, pay later. Like, that's so good. Installments? Klein was surprised that his messenger kept up with the times. After 2 seconds of shock, he said, "Alright." Raynette Tyneker didn't say anything else, as her foreheads nodded simultaneously before disappearing in front of Klein and returning to the spirit world. Alright. I think that's a pretty good place to end it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to quickly check if there's any art. Milosh isn't here, so I suspect probably not, but yeah, nothing for the moment. All good. No, Papa. We don't know the reason why she asks for coin. She might be told later, but I don't know. Okay. Money is money. True. True. You know, a coin's a coin, boys. I saw a bongo version of Christmas card. Cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll end it there. I will not see you guys tomorrow or today, depending on what time or where you. Or basically today. Because in 10 minutes it turns today even for me, and I'm like almost as far back in time zones as we get in the world. So no stream today. We already have a stream scheduled for Sunday at noon my time, whatever that might be for you. Feel free to check it out on the channel to see what time it is for you guys. I will see you in Minecraft though. Not tomorrow, Devil, or not today, I guess, basically, because again, it's my nephew's birthday party, so we're gonna be running around doing bullshit the whole day. So I won't be online tomorrow, but I'll probably be online back on Monday, back on Sunday. So yeah, I will see you guys Sunday for the ending of Volume 3. Today has been today 11. Yeah, okay. Then I'm exactly 12 hours behind you, Meso, to give you an idea. Okay. Wait, so that means Sunday stream for you will be at like midnight. Okay, that's kind of shitty, I know, but whatever. Alright, that's it, everyone. That's a long ass fucking outro, but I love all of you. Have a great rest of your day or night, and I'll catch y'all later. Thanks, guys.